Boston Bruins tonight, but right here, coming up next, is Boston Bruins hockey. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. WBZ-FM at HD Boston, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Easily Media Group Station. This is Boston Bruins hockey, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V, available at your local New England Honda dealers. The Bruins are brought to you by VA New England, Granite City Electric GCE Nitrate, Valvoline Instant Oil Change, Coors Banquet, your New England Ford dealers, Live Nation, Peerless Boilers, Safety Insurance, and by Shaw's and Star Market.
2 seconds, 1 second, it's over. The Bruins have won the Stanley Cup.
And by Town Fair Tire, TD Bank, your Boston area Nissan dealers, Charles D. Sheehy, Ticketmaster, Dairy Queen, Bosch Tools, Hub International New England, McGovern Auto Group, Timberline Construction, the Peterson School, your Eastern Region Lexus dealers, and by DraftKings Sportsbook.
After 39 long years, the Cup is back home. The Bruins are 2011 Stanley Cup champions.
Now, here's Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers.
From TD Garden in Boston, it's Bruins hockey and the final matchup of the regular season between the Bruins and their Atlantic Division rivals, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Alongside Bob Beers, I'm Ryan Johnston. Great to have you with us. The Bruins on Saturday battled back from a 2-goal deficit, only to lose to the Anaheim Ducks in overtime 3-2. The following morning, General Manager Don Sweeney revealed defenseman Hampus Lindholm unlikely to return from his knee injury this season. Charlie McAvoy remains out after his shoulder injury and infection during the Four Nations tournament. And Sweeney said that even though the team is still battling for a playoff spot, he's going to be taking a much more cautious approach toward next week's trade deadline than in years past. For his end, Coach Joe Sacco said yesterday the team just needs to focus on the task at hand.
We have a big game tomorrow. That's our focus right now. It's a divisional game. You know, like when you look, we're 1 point out of a playoff spot right now. Teams that had games in hand on us are suddenly caught up to us. We need to embrace the situation that we're in as far as playing meaningful games right now, and that's our goal right now, is just focus on that game tomorrow, and then we'll get ready for that next one.
Yeah, we're going to talk a lot more and try to break some of the comments by General Manager Don Sweeney down. We'll do that in between the first and second period. But as a player and as a coaching staff, your job is to go out and win. It doesn't matter who's on the ice. It doesn't matter who's hurt. It doesn't matter, who's in the lineup. Your job is to win. And it's not to worry about tomorrow. It's not to worry about the trade deadline. Easier said than done. But it's not to worry about the next game and the upcoming road trips and things like that. That's up to management. Management's got to figure out a plan of attack, and your play as a player is going to dictate which direction they're going to go. You can look down at the standings and say, yeah, they still have a chance, which they do. But there's a lot of numbers that point against them right now, just in terms of the way that they've played, and I think the way that they've lost some of these games and the struggles that they've had all year in different parts of their game, and that's what they're still trying to figure out. And it comes maddening sometimes because you see them play a couple of good games in a row, but then you see them take a few steps back. So, and it's in game too. It's not just from game to game. It's within the games that the consistency level just isn't there for them, and it hasn't been this year, which is true for a lot of teams. That's why you see so many teams fighting for those playoff spots. Ottawa looked like they were taking off. Now they've lost 4 in a row.
Right.
So all of a sudden they come back to the pack. You put a good winning streak together. Or you put 4 out of 5 together, 4 wins out of 5 games, all of a sudden you're right back in the thick of things. Unfortunately for the Bruins, the last 3 games, they're 0-2-1, and they had to battle back in that game the other day just to get that point, just to get into overtime to get that point. The previous 2 games, it's a long time ago because it was before the Four Nations Cup, but you have leads going into the third period, and you're not able to hold those leads or extend those leads, and you end up losing games in regulation.
Yeah, I mean, just from the players' perspective, after Don Sweeney's comments the other day, Morgan Geeky said, hey, it's up to us to make those decisions tougher on management.
A lot. I think we got to prove a lot to ourselves, too. It's been a roller coaster of a year, it feels like. Win 2, lose 3, just kind of up and down. But, I think it's just about trying to stay consistent in our game and bring it night in, night out. I think when we're on, we're one of the better teams in the league, and when we're off, we're not. So just being able to, channel that consistency and and prove that we can compete against those playoff teams, I think, and help us put us in a better spot going forward.
Well, it's something that's eluded them all year, the consistency for them. And, a guy like Geeky is one of those guys that it's hard not to look ahead. You're having a career year goal-wise. You're a free agent. It's not hard not to look ahead to the trade deadline and then what might happen after the season if he does not get moved. And, if he's here. But he's one of those guys. There's several of them that are in that situation right now. And, as a player, for some of these guys that are playing well and you hear your names out there, you hear your names in rumors, that's hard to kind of block it out and go play. But that is your job. That is what you're supposed to do. And you try to galvanize with the guys in the locker room, right? You look at the guy next to you, okay, he might be going through this, he might be going through that, but once you put the skates on, once you put the jersey on and step out on the ice, you try to come together as a team and block all that stuff out. And like I said, easier said than done because they're being asked about it every day now. Brad Marchand was asked about it, and we're going to hear from him later. But, these guys are going to be asked about it. If they're on social media, they're reading it, so they're seeing it, hearing it, and I think it's one of the hardest things come deadline, especially when a team is. The last few years, the Bruins guys haven't been worried about leaving.
Right.
There are very few. Only one or two guys have been worried about leaving. It's been okay. Who are we bringing in? Now are we bringing anybody in and people leaving? What's going to happen here between now and March 7th?
Right, next Friday.
Yeah. So that's. For them, I think that's the hardest thing right now, but you've got a tall task in front of you, and the Toronto Maple Leafs facing you.
Yeah, and talking about Geeky, he was asked about it just the other day after the game on Saturday, and he said, I want to be here for as long as they want me here, but essentially. But
Ryan, they're all going to say that.
Of course.
And I don't I'm not saying he's lying. I'm not saying anything like that, but you want to you go to battle with these guys unless the situation is so rancid that you need to get out. You want to stay here. You want to battle with these guys and be here for a while. This is where he had his career years, last year, this year. So it's, it'll be interesting here the next week or so.
Well, there's going to be some lineup changes tonight, including one that could affect him. Cole Koepke, Oliver Wahlstrom will dress tonight in place of Justin Brazeau and Riley Tufte. Sacco saying he wants more speed in the lineup tonight against Toronto. He also said he could be trying out Geeky on the first power play unit.
We experimented with that today. We wanted to see how it looked. He's obviously been playing well, and he's been producing a lot. So he has the shot over there in the elbow. It frees up a couple of other things for us as well in that first unit with David. Teams have been doing a good job of taking him away in certain areas. So, like I said, we're going to try different things as we move forward with everything. We're going to try to tweak some things here and there if we feel it can improve our team and help our team.
Your power play's 30th in the league, yeah. I mean, and you've got a guy that gets more chances than anybody on the team right now. And some of that's he's playing with David Pastrnak in 5-on-5 situations and Zacha. But he's generating chances, and he has a good shot. He can get the pucks. He can be physical. He can win battles. And he's been scoring for the Bruins. He's been, if he could capitalize on a couple more chances, they might look a little bit different right now. But he's putting himself in good position to score, and he's getting the job done. And he's really taken off here over the last couple seasons, especially this one.
Well, as we were talking about with the trade deadline coming up, trying to block out that noise, Joe Sacco says that's exactly what he expects his team to do.
I think that we have a group here that understands, where we're at. We have veteran players that have been around a long time. So I have discussions with players all the time, and it's not necessarily about that. We're always talking, we're in communication, and this group's focused right now on Toronto. I'm just being honest. Like we're not looking down the road there. Like I said, we feel we're in a fight right now, and it's an opportunity for us, to make some ground here and do something that we haven't been in this position for a little while. And these are meaningful games, and we're just trying to use them as a stepping stone to get to the next part of the season here.
Yeah, leaders and coaching staff trying to make them believe. We can still do this. We can get there, and it's a broken record, but you just try to block everything out and play for the guy next to you. That's it right now, and that's all you can control. You can't control what's going on upstairs in management and what trades might happen. If you play well, management's going to add. If you don't play well, the writing's on the wall. You figure it out. It's just, and you got a week to be able to do it and try to figure that out. If you're showing good signs, then maybe things change for them a little bit.
Meanwhile, coming out of that Don Sweeney press conference the other day, trade rumors have been abounding around Brad Marchand in particular over the last few weeks and throughout this season. He's in the final year of his contract. Sweeney said he's been operating under the assumption that Marchand will finish his career here in Boston. That's something Marshy said he wants as well.
I've always planned on playing here my entire career. That hasn't changed. They're aware of that. I think everyone's aware of that. It's a gift to be playing for this team, and it's I take a tremendous amount of pride in it. So yeah, that's always been the goal.
I think most people would say that they want him to be here. Some of it's going to depend on where he slots himself in terms of how many years he wants, how much money he wants, and then the Bruins have to figure that out. Don Sweeney has to say, okay, is this something that is worth it? Is this something worth negotiating, or is it something you want to move on? I think most people say they want to see him finish his career in a black and gold.
Well, tonight's storyline's brought to you by your Boston area Chevrolet dealers. Get a closer look at Chevy's award-winning lineup at your New England Chevy dealer. Find exciting offers, too, on the powerful Silverado and feature-packed all-new Equinox. Coming up here on the pregame show, we'll go around the NHL. Zach Werenski and the Blue Jackets battling for a playoff spot.
It's fun to look at it, right? We're in a great spot, and we haven't been in this spot in a long time, and we should enjoy it. We should embrace it, and we should know, what's in front of us.
We'll hear more from Joe Sacco about tonight's matchup.
We're going to have good details in our defensive zone if they do get set up in the offensive zone, because that's where they're good. On the flip side, we feel if we manage the puck, if we're able to make them defend, that we may create some opportunities for ourselves.
And up next, we'll take a closer look at the Maple Leafs.
Oliver Ekman-Larsson chipping it out at center in the race for it with Domi. Getting to it. He's got a man in front. He does! They score!
That's all on the way here on the 98.5, the Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home, yes, cool, or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went...
I'm so excited.
Yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and Emily summed it up like so.
It is just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
Hi, this is Trent Frederick, and I'm excited to team up with the Shaws and Star Market Foundation and 98.5 The Sports Hub for Feeding the Puck for Families this year. Every time me or one of my teammates feeds the puck this season to help score a goal, the Shaws and Star Market Foundation Nourishing Neighbors initiative will donate funds to end hunger here in our local communities. Since its inception, Nourishing Neighbors has raised more than $250 million across the country to ensure our neighbors have the nutrition needed to thrive. Locally, the Shaws and Star Market Foundation will be enabling a donation of $100 every time we feed the puck for a goal to the Greater Boston Food Bank to help end hunger, up to $50,000. To learn more about feeding the puck for families, visit 985thesportshub.com/feedthepuck.
The only place to hear the game, the Sports Hub.
Final seconds ticking down. The Leafs will take it, and they're going to escape with a 5-2 victory here. And Joseph Woll is going to pick up his 20th win of the season.
Toronto Maple Leafs in town to take on the Bruins here at TD Garden, and the Leafs come in leading Florida by a point atop the Atlantic Division standings. They've won 5 of their last 6, including back-to-back wins over Carolina and Chicago this past weekend. Leafs coach Craig Berube was hoping his team would come strong out of the gate after the break.
It's important, obviously, if you look at the standings and everything and where everybody's situated. I mean, points are crucial. And we talked about it before the break that, we got back-to-back here. We got to really push here and get points. And guys have done a good job so far. And we go to Boston now, and it's going to be a big game.
Yeah, Craig Berube has him playing a better style, I think. I mean, it started to get implemented last year, but then they made some personnel changes. I mean, they've got some guys who embrace the style that he wants them to play to be ready for the playoffs. They're a good team. We know that they're good up front. Their power play could be a little bit better. It's only 14th in the league. I would think that they would be better than that, but they're still dangerous every time they're out there in those situations. Their 5-on-5 scoring is very good. You know, you compare their 5-on-5, what is it, plus 23 or plus 22? The Bruins are minus 2 in that category. So, and they've been better defensively this year. And their goaltender that's going to play here tonight, Anthony Stolarz, an injury derailed his season. He was having a great year, still playing well since he's come back. But they've got two pretty good goaltenders who they're counting on right now. They feel that. I'm curious to see what they're going to do here come trade deadline. I think that they're going to add and really go for it. And why not? This is wide open right now. I think in the East, Washington maybe might have something to say about that, but especially in the Atlantic, I think wide open. Tampa's got 5 wins in a row, by the way, and they're charging hard. They're only 4 points behind the Toronto Maple Leafs with a game in hand.
Yeah, and of course, the Maple Leafs winners of 2 out of 3 against the Bruins so far this season, including 2 very impressive wins up in Toronto this year. Well, coming up next, we'll get a check of the Sports Hub headlines with Joe Murray, and then we'll be back to go around the NHL here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home, yes, cool, or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club. Politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize. And turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
With a VSP individual vision plan, you're the one pulling the strings. Because taking care of your eye health after retirement comes with a lot of decisions that only you should make, like choosing how to save on the lens enhancements you need, the right name brand frames for your style, and choosing your eye doctor from the nation's largest independent doctor network. Even how you enroll is up to you. Make the best decisions for your vision at the eye doctor's office, retail locations, and online with VSP individual vision plans.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went...
I'm so excited.
Yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and Emily summed it up like so.
It is just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Felger and Naz, afternoons 2 to 6 on the Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines.
Celtics play in Toronto tonight. No Al Horford, Drew Holiday, or Luke Cornett. Tip-off is tonight at 7 p.m. And Diana Taurasi, WNBA's all-time leading scorer, has announced her retirement. Headlines are brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off an extra after oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. I'm Joe Murray. Ryan and Bob take you around the NHL next on the 98.5 The Sports of Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Welcome to the Nissan Now sales event. Are you all right?
I wanted to get here before the best offers were gone.
You're just in time. Let me show you what we've got. There's the all-new Kicks. The sporty Sentra. Or our best-selling Rogue, a Consumer Guide Best Buy 11 years in a row. You must be exhausted.
I think I'm ready for my next adventure.
For the #1 shopping experience among non-luxury car buyers, according to J.D. Power, get to Nissan now. Now get a low $249 per month lease for 39 months on Rogue.
For JD Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Well-qualified lessees. 2025 Rogue S all-wheel drive. $46.19 initial payment excludes tax, title, and license. Disposition fee due at lease end. Take from new dealer stock. Call 1-888-858-8319 for offer details. Ends 3/3/25.
At Enterprise, we know you're constantly on the move. Getting this?
Thanks, Mom.
Fixing that. You reach a destination, and then it's on to the next. And when life is moving at the speed of, well, life, Enterprise is right there with you, around the corner and around the globe. We'll keep you moving forward. Enterprise, for lives in drive.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. Check out the Honda Ridgeline, Pilot, or CR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.9% APR on a 2025 Pilot or a 2.9% APR on a 2025 Ridgeline or CR-V.
See dealer for financing details.
The home of the Bees, the Sports Hub.
Back here to take a quick look around the NHL and some of the games to highlight tonight. The Flames at the Capitals. Caps coach Spencer Carberry marveling at what Alex Ovechkin is due, chasing down Wayne Gretzky's record.
You can't write this stuff. You really could not write a story in a book of what he's doing right now at 39. Massive goals against the Stanley Cup finalists from last year. As good a team as there is in the league. It's just incredible.
Well, Ovechkin deserves a ton of credit. He does have a bunch of empty net goals, but hey, that's the people that are the glass is half empty. But he's chasing down Gretzky right now. What is it, 13 away after the hat trick? And Washington themselves have been just a fantastic story this year. In fact, they've come out of the break. They had no players in the Four Nations Cup, and they've blown out the competition the first couple games back since coming off that break.
One other one to highlight quickly. The Lightning, you mentioned, have won 5 in a row. They get the Oilers tonight.
Yeah, and Edmonton's lost 3 in a row coming into this game. So Tampa Bay trying to catch both Florida and the Toronto Maple Leafs.
That's our quick look around the NHL. We'll hear from Bruins head coach Joe Sacco as they prepare to take on the Maple Leafs next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
The Peterson School is now hiring for new instructors at all locations.
Hi, I'm Adam Norcott, an electrical instructor at the Peterson School. I've learned so much from my students and their experiences, and it's made me a better teacher, foreman, and electrician.
Visit petersonschool.com.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went...
I'm so excited.
Yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and Emily summed it up like so.
It is just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
Man, that was easy.
Bulldog Rotary Hammer!
Hello?
It is I, He-Man, your inner Bosch.
Inner...
Bosch!
I'm sorry, what?
That powerful feeling you get when you can powerfully blast through concrete. Say it with me.
What, like right now?
Yes! We have the power!
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a...
NHL fans, give yourself some great looks this season and get Boston Bruins tickets at Ticketmaster. As the official ticket marketplace of the Bruins and the NHL, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of tickets available for every game so you can catch all the action live. If your plans change, you can sell or transfer your tickets, and mobile tickets make it easy to get into the arena in time for puck drop. With Ticketmaster, you'll ensure that when they shoot, you'll score. Get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/NHL.
When you're thinking about your next haircut, use your head. Head to any of the 120 Boston and Providence Supercuts salons. Supercuts. Real smart hair.
Hey, what's up, it's Owen. If you're a plumber, a pipe fitter, or if you're in the piping trades, then you got to call my friends at Charles D. Sheehy. CDS is proud to work with the region's best life science, biotech, and pharma contractors to help them deliver their projects on time within budget. Make CDS your choice for pipe, valves, and fittings. Call them today.
Connect with Boston's home for sports online. 98.5thesportshub.com.
Our pregame interview with Joe Sacco is brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. We'll help you manage life's storms. Well, as you guys get ready to come into this one against Toronto tonight, go back and look at the game against Anaheim the other night. Seemed like your team got better as the game went on, maybe a little bit of a slow start. What did you like about that game, first off?
Well, I like the resiliency factor. I think that we put ourselves in a hole being down 2-0, and then we showed some battle. We showed some fight right to the very end of the game, and it took us to the last minute or so when we pulled the goaltender to tie it up. So I did like that about our game, the fact that the first period wasn't the way we wanted to start. Second period, we came out, we responded, we played much better. We drew some penalties, we got on the power play, scored a goal, and then, like I said, in the third period, we were able to tie it up late just by staying with it.
You guys gave up a couple of goals in the last 2.5 minutes of the first. I think they almost got a third, hit a post in there as well. What happens in a stretch like that, and how can you avoid kind of mistakes compounding on themselves, I guess, in those situations?
Yeah, well, the first goal, if I remember correctly, was a pinch read, by one of our defensemen, and we gave up an odd man rush. But like we said before, mistakes happen during the course of a game. You might trail in the game. You might be up in the game and make a mistake. But you can't get sidetracked by those mistakes. You have to go out and the next shift, the next line, whoever's up, we have to have a good response shift after that when something like that happens. And, you never want to see any team doesn't want to get scored on towards the last minute of the period. We had another breakdown there, too. So correctable mistakes, things that we can certainly fix. But as far as, the first one happening, let's not let it happen again.
You guys obviously shorthanded both McAvoy and Hampus going into that game and for the foreseeable future. How do you think the guys handled that in really the first game coming out of the break, and you got guys playing a little bit maybe out of their comfort zones? How do you think the team did defensively?
Not bad after the first period. Actually, well after the first period. I thought we gave up too many chances in the first. We weren't tight. And we weren't good enough on our rush reads. We weren't good enough tracking. But after that, when we tightened it up, when we buckled down, we were much better. We didn't give up much in the second and third period. Most of them, we gave up more probably on we gave up a shorthanded chance in the second, maybe one on the power play. But I think overall we were better after that first period. We managed the puck better in the second period. We played behind the forecheck. We limited our turnovers through the neutral zone, which obviously when you do that, you're going to give up less odd man rushes.
When you have guys, maybe playing up in the lineup or, playing in situations that they're not necessarily regularly called upon, what's the message as to how to handle those situations?
The message is just play your game. I don't think you can try to be a player that, you're not. And we're not asking somebody to do something that they're not capable of. We understand the situation, whether it be, defensemen getting more responsibility, maybe increased minutes in certain roles. If it's up front, same thing. But just play your game. You don't need to do more than that. It may require you to play more. It may require you to do something, be in a position maybe you haven't killed all the time and you're getting an opportunity to kill now. But just play your game and play it at a high level as best you can.
You experimented with a couple of different looks on the second power play unit defensively, Zadorov, Wotherspoon the other night. What's the right fit? What are you looking for in that situation?
Well, typically what we're looking for is, they're going to clean up the last 45 seconds or so. Someone that can get the puck, move along the blue line and distribute it to the net, basically, is what we're looking for. If there's an opening in the shot lane, we want to take it. We want to get you on the inside, and we want to converge for rebounds. It should be more of a simplified power play, especially when you get down to the end because they have a guy coming out of the box. So we just want to really simplify, get the puck to the net, converge, try to create some 2-for-1 opportunities, just make the right play, execute the right play.
You guys take on Toronto tonight, obviously very familiar with them. What kind of challenge is this going to be?
Oh, they're playing good hockey, Toronto. They've been pretty consistent for most of the year, I think. Strong forechecking team. They come at you with a lot of pressure below our goal line. We're going to have to be able to execute coming out of our zone. We're going to need good puck support. We're going to make sure that we have, we're going to have good details in our defensive zone if they do get set up in the offensive zone, because that's where they're good. On the flip side, we feel if we manage the puck, if we're able to make them defend, that we may create some opportunities for ourselves.
All right, good luck tonight.
Okay, thanks.
Joe Sacco joining us. We got the Bruins and the Maple Leafs coming up next.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. WBZ-FM at HD Boston, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
On Saturday, the Bruins returned from a 2-week break, and despite rallying from a slow start, they found themselves on the losing side for the third straight game. Carlson to Terry, high slot, deals off to the left circle, Dumoulin a shot, save made, rebound, score! Leo Carlson shoots it into an empty net, and the Ducks will win it in overtime, 3-2. Now they'll look to rebound against an Original Six rival and the current division leader. It's the Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs coming up next.
Boston Bruins hockey is driven by the stylish Honda Accord, available at your local New England Honda dealers.
Cross to Esposito, shot.
Cam Neely.
Nathan Horton wins Game 7 in overtime. David Pastrnak wins the series for the Bruins. The rebound to Trent Frederick. And the Bruins are back in front by 2.
The Bruins are brought to you by VA New England, Granite City Electric GCE Nitrate, Valvoline Instant Oil Change, Coors Banquet, Bosch Tools, your New England Ford dealers, Live Nation, Safety Insurance, Peerless Boilers, and by Shaw's and Star Market.
Backhand and a save, Thomas. Swayman made a great stop at the far post.
And by Town Fair Tire, TD Bank, your Boston area Nissan dealers, Charles D. Sheehy, Ticketmaster, Dairy Queen, McGovern Auto Group, Hub International New England, Timberline Construction, the Peterson School, your Eastern Region Lexus dealers, and by DraftKings Sportsbook.
Back to Orr. Put in. It's 100 backhand score, a penalty shot for Raymond Gordon. David Pastrnak calls game, and the Bruins win it 2-1. Bergeron, and the Bruins win the series.
Now, here's Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers.
Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs getting ready to meet for the final time in this regular season. Bruins with 1 win on home ice. Toronto with 2 wins on their home ice. How do the Bruins get it done tonight?
Well, going back to the last game, it's the same thing, Ryan. I mean, it's not do or die for the Bruins, but every point means so much to them. And you got points on the line, not only a divisional team, but a rivalry here against the Leafs. You should have no trouble getting up for this game, making sure you control the emotion, but bring the emotion. Need to see a little bit more of it from this Bruins team here moving into the trade deadline.
Tonight's keys to the game brought to you by Town Fair Tire. For the guaranteed lowest prices on tires, go to Town Fair Tire, because nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. We'll have the opening face-off between the Bruins and Toronto next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
With Cox Mobile, you're covered coast to coast, so you can call your friends anytime on that road trip from New York City to LA, even in, Franklin, Illinois.
Huh, what if I call from Franklin, Georgia?
Yep, covered.
Ooh, Franklin, Texas?
Uh-huh.
Franklin, Kansas, Missouri, Virginia, Nebraska,
all covered. Cox Mobile runs on the network with more nationwide coverage than T-Mobile and has call quality you can rely on. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. Cox Internet required. Comparison based on percentage of area covered by T-Mobile as compared to Cox Mobile from FCC National Broadband Map of U.S. as of 12/31/23. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went,
I'm so excited.
yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and Emily summed it up like so.
It's just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV.
Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. Visit your New England Chevy dealers.
Waiting for your electrical supplies during the day or sitting in traffic is for the birds. Use the GCE Night Train from Granite City Electric and get access to over $50 million in local inventory with a free guaranteed overnight delivery of your electrical supplies anywhere in New England. So avoid wasting time waiting in line and sitting in traffic. Order by 5 p.m. and you'll have your materials the next morning by 6 a.m. guaranteed. Visit GCENightTrain.com to get on board the GCE Night Train today. Granite City Electric, proud partner of the Boston Bruins Radio Network.
Celtics play here at the Sports Hub.
Back at TD Garden for this Original Six, an Atlantic Division matchup between the Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Before we drop the puck, Let's go down to ice level and get tonight's national anthems with Todd Angeli.
Poster, please welcome Todd Angeli.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we sing, glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, they prove through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Todd Angeli with the national anthems as we get set for the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Bruins. We look at our starting lineups here tonight. In goal for Toronto is Anthony Stolarz on defense, a pairing of Jake McCabe and Chris Tanev up front. Pontus Holmberg, John Tavares, and William Nylander. For the Bruins, it's Jeremy Swayman getting the start in goal. Mason Lohrei and Andrew Peeke, your defensemen, and up front, Morgan Geeky, Pavel Zacha, and David Pastrnak. Starting lineups are brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SportsHub. That's code SportsHub for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
First 5 minutes of tonight's game presented by your New England Ford dealers. Tonight's New England Ford dealers' first 5 contestant of the game is Mark Farini of Holbrook, Mass. If the Bruins score in the first 5 minutes, Mark will pick up a pair of tickets for a future Bruins game courtesy of the New England Ford dealers. Enter the contest at 985thesportshub.com. Bruins will go from left to right on offense here in the first period. They win the opening faceoff. Turnover in the neutral ice, though, as Tavares gets it back into the Boston zone. Nylander along the far right wing side. Centering pass denied by Peeke right in front of the crease of Jeremy Swayman. Puck poked in behind the Bruins net. Will come around toward the near side. Holmberg got to spin it back deep. Taken out and cleared ahead by Lohrei. Pastrnak with the breakaway. He scores! Bruins counter punch right away and grab a 1-0 lead. Pastrnak just 29 seconds in.
Tell you, Ryan, I didn't think this pass had a chance of getting through all the Toronto Maple Leaf players in the neutral zone. Pastrnak senses what's going on. He takes off up the ice. He gets behind everybody. And the two defensemen there, Tanev and McCabe, they both dive to try to get to this loose puck. But Mason Lohrei, after a nice pass in the defensive zone by Zacha, both defensemen are there. Right, you've got McCabe diving from one side. Tanev just misses this puck. And Pastrnak walks in. He's going to beat Stolarz to the blocker side.
Pasternak's 29th of the year extends his career-high scoring streak to 15 straight games with a point. As the puck behind the Toronto net. Here's Coyle wrapping it around on the near side. And denied in front. Marner will take it toward the far corner and lift it high up and out of the zone.
I mean, I thought Tanev would have had that puck unless maybe McCabe got a piece of it and it got by him. I don't know because he was there. He's the most reliable defensive pair right there for the Leafs.
Tanev's been terrific for them defensively this year. Great addition. It's plus 27 on the season. It's 8th best in the league. As Wahlstrom in the neutral ice will carry it in and dump it around the boards. Comes toward the near side. And poked out to the blue line and carried out now by Max Domi. Played into the Boston zone. Callahan reversed it up the near side, but held in by Benoit. Shot deflected on goal, and Swayman made the save. Wallstrom battling for it toward the far side. Boards goes down against Robertson.
It's a good non-call. Both guys battling for the puck there.
Patra putting pressure on deep in the Leaf zone. Benoit giveaway. Patra gives it over to Pastrnak for a shot. And the save made by Stolarz. Thrown back out in front. Ricocheted off Stolarz. And the Leafs will come away with the puck. Brought through neutral ice by McMahon. This sends it softly into the Boston zone.
As good as the goal was by Pastrnak, using the middle of the ice to get out of the zone sometimes is the best play. Pavel Zacha does it perfectly, getting that puck to Lohrei, and then Lohrei threading the needle to get that puck to Pastrnak on the long pass.
Puck bottled up inside the Leaf zone, and we get a whistle and a hand pass here against Boston.
When you have the pressure up the boards, you've got to be able to find the open man, and if it's in the middle of the ice where the pressure is lightest, and people say, well, why do you use, if it misses now, you look kind of, you look bad because you miss on that pass, but it's the right play, and they execute it perfectly. And I'm telling you, I still don't know how this puck gets past Tanev. He's right there.
Face-off win here in the neutral zone. Carlo going to dump one in, and Stolarz will go behind the net. Puck rolls through him. Leafs, though, in control. Sent out into the neutral ice and angled off the near boards. Lorentz giving chase into the Boston zone. Carlo ridden into the wall. Wrapped it up the far side. Kept in deep by Camp. Played off the far boards by Kastelik, but it'll come back around behind the Bruins net. Toward the near side circle. Riley batted it back down toward the corner. Now a free puck comes to Johnny Beecher, and he'll start the Bruins up ice. Beecher goes left side for Carlo, and that's going to be offside of the attacking blue line.
You've got a 3-on-2 there. Carlo joins the rush. Beecher's coming up the middle. Use your speed. Get to the blue line. And then move the puck wide to Carlo before you drive to the net. He moved the puck. He put himself off sides. That's a 3-on-2 rush for you.
Yeah, and it's one more stride to get there, essentially.
It's a half a stride. Yeah. That's like those things are unforced icings, unforced offsides, especially when you have an odd man rush.
Holmberg will swing it across ice, but picked off by Lohrei in the neutral zone. Skates it on into the Toronto end. Hands off to Zacha coming down the right circle. Tried to pass it. It ricocheted off Benoit and toward the net. Out of the far corner, Geeky finds Zacha. Bringing it back toward the blue line under pressure. He's forced out of the zone by Tavares. And the puck batted through the neutral zone by Holmberg, but the Bruins have it back. Pastrnak trying to get it to Geeky at the blue line. Could not. Leafs regain. Austin Matthews skating against Geeky, pivots back into his own zone, gives to Benoit coming toward the near side. He'll dump it in from the red line. Swayman stopped it behind the Bruins net, reversed it toward the near side, nearly picked off by Matthew Nyes. Instead, Charlie Coyle will bring back behind the Bruins net. Carlo sent it off Marchand and kicked through the middle of the ice and all the way through the neutral zone. Leafs have it back. Marner waiting for it at the red line. Poke checked away from him by Carlo, but now Nyes will lift it across the ice into the far corner of the Bruins zone. Zadorov looking over his shoulder, lost track of the puck. Matthews in the near corner. Will play it back around to the far side. McCabe fanned on it. Marchand's got it. 3-on-2 here for the Bruins. Marchand up the left wing side. Trying to cut around Marner, who got a stick on that puck.
Good defensive play. Good stick. Marner back there playing D. Played Marchand perfectly that time as Marchand tried to drag that puck outside in.
Wotherspoon going around.
It was the extra attacker, but the Domi line was good last game, right? Robertson had a couple of goals. Big man in there as well. They draw the penalty in the offensive zone this time. Well, no Bruins copping to it, but
15:28 left here in the first period. Bruins up by 1, but it is Toronto that will get the first power play of the game. Oliver Wallstrom's headed to the box. May have been did they get hit for too many men?
It's a good possibility. That's why nobody was going over the box.
Referees,
I didn't see it happen during the.
So Wallstrom serves the penalty here. Just over 4.5 minutes gone in this first period. Toronto power play over 23% success rate for the year. They had a 3 power play goal performance against the Bruins back in November. 3 for 12 in the 3 meetings so far this season. Marner will drop one back in his own zone. Nylander will bring it through the neutral ice. Here's Matthews touching it along to Tavares along the left side. Matthews will swing it around to the far side. Knives. Hands back off to Nylander. Skates it down south of the hash marks. Pulls up in the corner. Back to Marner up top. Now on to Matthews. To Marner, center blue line. Touched it for Nylander. Skating into the right circle. Tried to get it in front. Was blocked. It'll come back toward Marner at the right point. Now Tavares high slot. Pressured by Elias Lindholm. Puck came free. Zadorov can't get it cleared. Still loose. And now Zacha from a knee able to keep it moving forward and get it all the way down.
We mentioned this last game. Not many teams in the league use 5 forwards. Anaheim used 5 forwards last game against the Bruins. Toronto Maple Leafs using 5 forwards here. Now Morgan Rielly comes out.
Rielly's got the puck on his stick inside his own zone. Leafs moving from right to left here in the first period. Robertson skates it across the Boston line. Cutting to his left, gives to McMahon, skating down toward the corner. His pass back for Robertson, picked off by Marchand. Deals out of his zone to Coyle. Back to Marchand up the right wing side, shorthanded. Slams on the brakes just inside the blue line. Now throws one to the net. Stolarz gloves it, drops it back into play for Rielly. 38 seconds to go on the Leafs power play. Coyle keeping McMahon inside his own zone. Now Domi finds his way out across the blue line. Robertson gives it back toward him, and he kicks it into the zone offside, does Domi. And faceoff will come back in the neutral ice with 26 seconds left in the Bruins penalty.
Yeah, effective so far. Bruins have had some good jump in the defensive zone. They've closed when the right time is to close. They've had the good sticks. Toronto a little off the mark here offensively on their power play. You mentioned only 14th in the league, and for them that's well below what you would expect from their power play. And they've tinkered with a few different looks on that back end. We said now going with 5 forwards. They'll keep Rielly on the ice now to finish this up with 26 seconds to go and go 4 forwards and 1 D.
Tavares, Matthews, Marner up front with Nylander and Rielly. Matthews on the draw against Zacha. Puck will come down into the Toronto zone, kill a few extra seconds of time. Rielly hands it off for Nylander. He skates it out across his own blue line. Head to the Boston line. Chipped it right side. Trying to get it back to him was Marner. Instead, Carlo gets a stick on it along the end board. Carlo in the far corner to try to poke that puck ahead. Instead, Matthews threw it toward the side of the net, taken by Zadorov, and he'll carry the Bruins out. Wallstrom getting ready to come out of the penalty box as Zadorov gains the attacking blue line, but puck knocked away from him. Stolarz made sure it stayed away from his crease. Nylander from behind the Leafs net. Pass for Rielly missed. Peak in the neutral zone will dump it back in. Teams at full strength with 13:10 to go here in the first period. The Bruins with a 1-0 lead. Mason Lohrei back inside his own zone. They'll play it up the left side here for Patra. Just inside the Toronto zone. Patra takes a shot. Saved by Stolarz. Kicked the rebound right toward Geeky. Just couldn't get it onto his stick in time. Now Lohrei, center of the blue line. Over to the left side, a one-timer by Pastrnak. Tipped and wide.
Yeah, tough to angle for Pastrnak. He's way over by the boards, but that's when he can still finish.
Patra now moving his way down the left wing circle. Ridden into the wall by Benoit. Camp will push it up the boards for Alex Steeves, and out of the zone it goes. Parker Wotherspoon back to retrieve here for Boston. Wotherspoon with a long pass through the neutral ice. It's knocked out of play off the stick of Timmins, and that'll draw a timeout here with 12:24 to go in the first period. Bruins 1, Leafs nothing on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and on supply.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Tracks.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV.
Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. Visit your New England Chevy dealers.
Hi, this is Bob Sosi, voice of New England football. You've heard me talk about ClearPath for Veterans and safety insurance. Now New Hampshire residents can also support our veterans and save on auto insurance. ClearPath for Veterans is working with safety insurance to help New England veterans at the resource centers in Devens, Massachusetts and Manchester, New Hampshire. Safety policyholders can make a $50 tax-deductible donation to ClearPath and earn a 5% discount on your safety automobile insurance. New Hampshire and Massachusetts residents can say thanks to those who serve and get rewarded. Visit safetyforvets.com.
listen live, check out our podcast with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
Well, we've got another winner in our New England Ford First Five contest. Mark Farini of Holbrook, Mass. has just won a pair of tickets for a future Bruins game, courtesy of the New England Ford dealers. That's because David Pastrnak got the Bruins on the board just 29 seconds into the period from Lohrei and Zacha with his 29th goal of the season. Bruins have a 1-0 lead just over 7.5 minutes into this first period. Already killed off one power play chance as well after getting called for too many men on the ice.
I think Chris Tanev ended up going down towards the locker room here for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Took a fairly, I mean, it wasn't a dangerous hit at all, but he kind of went into the boards awkwardly.
There's Cole Koepke for the Bruins.
The hit was delivered by Beecher just on the forecheck, but
Koepke in behind the Leafs net, bringing it around toward the near side. Wotherspoon kicks it onto his stick and plays it back in deep. Kastelik chasing into the far corner, gets spun away from the puck by Timmins. It'll come back around toward the near side. Koepke trying to get body position on Ekman Larsson as they go crashing into the corner. Koepke staying with the puck. McMahon and Ekman Larsson combined to clear the puck over to the far side. Robertson will drop it back. Ekman Larsson brings it up to the red line. And across the blue. Long shot right into the glove of Jeremy Swayman. Thought about dropping it back into play. Instead hangs on. Face-off will be to his right with 11:32 to go in the period.
Well, keep an eye on Tanev because he means so much to them on that back end. You mentioned his plus-minus. He was, when there were some injuries that occurred for Team Canada on the Four Nations Cup, there were a lot of people that thought that he would get the call at right defense. Drew Doughty ended up getting the call, and Doughty had missed the whole first part of the season until recently. But some people were calling for Tanev to get that spot, and that's how well he's played this season.
Veteran
and throughout his career, but this season here for Toronto.
He's a veteran of over 800 games in his career. Was traded part of a 3-team deal last February.
Plays hard, fearless of blocking shots, and unfortunately, it wasn't a blocked shot that forces him to leave this game, at least for now. But it was a kind of a strange hit.
Nylander behind the Bruins net with the puck on his stick. He'll bring it back to Riley at the left point over to the far side. Now they work it to Tavares, top of the right circle, a shot knocked away in front. Nylander tried to play it off the boards back to the point, hit the referee with it. Bounces away. Coyle tried to clear, could not. Riley looking for Nylander, high slot. It evaded him, and Lohrei makes a nice move to get it out of the zone. Here's Marchand waiting for help down the left circle. In front for Lohrei, a one-timer. Stolarz made the save.
Ended up being a 3-on-2.
Carlo over to Lohrei at the right circle with a shot with Coyle in front. Lorai's got the rebound, moves in behind the net. On the Marchand right circle, a shot missed to the short side. Carlo with a far point now. They'll push it for Coyle. Coyle bats it around the wall. Riley reverses it past Marchand. And now we'll get it back from Holmberg. And Waugh in that far corner. Banks it off the boards and out into the neutral ice. Zadorov over to Carlo. He'll give it to Pastrnak. Pastrnak trying to give it to Geeky just as he crossed the blue line. Instead, it's pushed back toward the Boston zone. Zadorov with a quick up pass here for Geeky. Down the left wing side against Ekman Larsson. Gets run wide of the net.
He's trying to drop that puck off of Pastrnak. Pastrnak might have got away with one there.
Zadorov pass across the ice for Carlo in his skates. Gave away to Marner. And Marner will angle the puck out of the zone. Carlo regroups quickly and misses Pastrnak, who was coming out of the zone on the end of the shift.
One of the other things there, Ryan, coming into this game, they switched the D pairs up a little bit. It actually started last game as Toronto gets called for offside here. But switch the D pairs all up here for this game. See how long it lasts.
9:45 to go here in the first. It's the Bruins 1, Toronto nothing on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Once upon a time, there was born a real estate brokerage that was also a magical app. They called it Redfin, and they're on a mission to get people the fairest deal of them all. With listing fees as low as 1%, Redfin...
From Franklin, Georgia.
Yep, covered.
Ooh, Franklin, Texas?
Uh-huh.
Franklin, Kansas, Missouri, Virginia, Nebraska,
all
Connecticut.
covered. Cox Mobile runs on the network with more nationwide coverage than T-Mobile and has call quality you can rely on. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile.
Cox Internet required. Comparison based on percentage of area covered by T-Mobile as compared to Cox Mobile from FCC National Broadband Map of US as of 12/31/23. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
You can shop during this ad by saying, Alexa, add to cart. You are bountiful.
Nature's Bounty Hair, Skin, and Nails Fruit Pectin Gummies with collagen and biotin, plus antioxidant CNE, help you shine from the inside out. To add Nature's Bounty Hair, Skin, and Nails Gummies with collagen and biotin to your cart, just say, Alexa, add to cart. That's Alexa, add to cart.
The home of the Revs, the Sports Hub.
Just past the midway point of the first period, Bruins have a 1-0 lead over Toronto. Just pivoting back to the point you were making just prior to the break, Beersy, about the D pairings tonight. At least the starting D pairings. Zadorov and Carlo, Callahan with Wotherspoon, and Lohrei with Peak as the three pairs tonight for Joe Sacco.
Lohrei jumping up into the play right there. He ended up creating a 3-on-2. Looked like it might be a 2-on-1. Coyle's kind of at the end of his shift, so Toronto on the back check, but Lohrei smartly jumping up into the play. It was Marchand who found him coming late. He didn't get all that shot, but he got enough of it to force Stolarz to make a good save. And of course, he had the long outlet pass there to David Pastrnak on the first shift of the game.
The Bruins without Charlie McAvoy, without Hampus Lindholm. Again, the word from Don Sweeney the other day, Lindholm unlikely to return this season after it looked like he was getting closer. So the puck angles wide of the Bruins net into the near corner. Brent's got knocked down by Patra. McCabe shoots it off the end boards around to the far side. Callahan racing over there just a step ahead of Steves as they get pinned against the wall. It'll come back around the near side. McCabe behind the net to Camp. Off the far side, turned over. That gives Frederick a chance to wheel it up the left wing side. Carries into the zone, wrestling all the way into the corner against Lorentz. Frederick stays with the puck, gets it back to Lohrei at the point with a shot. Save made by Stolarz, and the rebound by Patra in front. Tipped wide. Here's Peak. Skating to the top of the right circle. Throws one through the top of the crease.
He looked up. Nobody was in front, so he tried to hold on to it for the extra second.
Peak shot out near the blue line, gets blocked this time, and Steves will feather one out of the zone. Leafs needed a change. Lohrei off the near boards, finds Peak. Back into the Toronto zone it goes, and around the boards to the far side. Ekman Larson gives it back into the near corner for Riley. Out toward the blue line. Nylander, pass to the left side. Tavares had to track it down and turned it over. Zacha coming back the other way. Just inside the Toronto line, but wrestling with Nylander, who wins the puck and brings it back through the neutral ice. Up the near left wing side for the Leafs. Poked in behind the net. Zadorov will keep it moving to Pastrnak far side. Into the middle for Zacha. Tapped out of the zone, but right back over to Toronto. 8:05 left here in the first. Bruins have a 1-0 lead. Loose puck in the neutral ice. Pastrnak got it to Marchand. Coming down the right side. Tried to leave it at the top of the circle, and it was taken away. And back toward the Boston zone it goes. Wotherspoon with Matthews on his tail. Long pass out to neutral ice. Pastrnak is headed to the bench. Played the puck across ice to Lindholm. Sends it deep. Marchand in there deep. Sends one out toward the slot, but nobody there, and Marner will go the other way. Marner head across the Boston line. And Matthews coming down the middle of the pad. Saved by Swayman.
Ended up being a 3-on-2.
Free puck out near the blue line. Marner keeps it alive. Nice! High slot, put one up over Swayman's head off the back glass. Lindholm looking to clear it, bounced off Nyes, came into the middle, but Callahan and Marchand get it out to the blue line. Then Marchand goes down, and Nyes going to take a penalty here. The Bruins will go to the power play with 7:15 to go in this first period.
Yeah, Marchand with a little droop there around Nyes, right at the blue line. It's the Bruins' blue line, and Nyes is caught for reaching in a little bit. He's not happy about it, but good save by Swayman, right? It ends up being a 3-on-2. Actually, the Bruins were back, and it was a 3-on-3, but a little misread defensively. Who's going to take who? And ends up being a really good opportunity for Austin Matthews. And just circling back to the penalty that the Bruins took, definitely too many men on the ice. Finally had a good look at it. And it was a no doubter.
So they'll get a power play here. They go 1 out of 13 so far this year in the 3 previous meetings between these two teams. Leafs penalty killers ranked 14th in the league. As Marner has it off of the face-off, and he'll scale one all the way down towards Swayman. Mason Lohrei comes back to collect the puck. Skates it up across the red line. Deals off right side for Charlie Coyle. He'll play to Zacha. Zacha moving toward the near side of the net. Stolarz made a stop.
Had a chance to take the shot right away. Tried to make a backhand pass to Frederick.
Pastrnak from the right circle, a shot. Stolarz a save, scrambling for the rebound. It's still loose. No whistle as they dig for it along the far side of the crease, and now the whistle comes.
There's been some loose change around Stolarz here in this game so far in this first period. There's been a couple of rebounds. He's been active, which sometimes can be good and sometimes not so good. Pastrnak with a good shot, and Stolarz trying to corral it. I mean, I can see why there's a small rebound. He's trying to corral it, can't quite find it. Does a good job of keeping it out of the net, though, with Frederick right in front. But Zacha had a really good chance to take that shot, right? And he's in a good shooting position. He tried to...
Matthews and Marner. Matthews down the left circle, shoots and hits the post. And Marchand will take the long rebound and go the other way in a hurry. To the right side for Elias Lindholm. Angles it off the boards to Lohrei at the right point. Over to Pastrnak now at the top of the far circle. Throws one in front. Redirected off of Ekman-Larsson into the crease. And Stolarz covers it there.
Yeah, so basically what we're seeing now is Geeky's going to play on this top unit. They're going to keep, like, Lohrei and Pastrnak started on the, we'll call it the second unit, but they were fresh. They hadn't been out on the ice. Marchand had been out on the ice. So Pastrnak and Lohrei will stay out there, and they're going to have Marchand, Lindholm, and now Geeky join them up front. Off the post, though, for Matthews. 2-on-1 after a good setup for Pastrnak, where he, a little bit unlucky, just breaks his stick on the one-timer.
Face-off far circle down to our right. 59 seconds to go on the power play. 6:14 to go in the first period. The Bruins up 1. Elias Lindholm on the draw against David Kemp. Off the draw. Puck comes back to Lohrei at the left point. Moves it along the blue line. Now fires, and that one just wide. Pastrnak off the right circle has possession. Pastrnak brings it toward the dot. Sends it in front. Off Marchand. They score! The puck pinballing around in front. And Marchand with a power play goal makes it 2-0.
Well, it starts with a face-off win, though, right? You get the puck in the offensive zone. You win the face-off. Now you've got possession. You can go to work. Pastrnak settles things down on the right side. And he's going to try to dish this puck in front from the right wing circle. Got a little pressure, looks the pressure off, finds Marchand right at the top of the crease, and this puck goes off of Stolarz, off of McCabe, who's off to the side of the net, like off of his head and shoulder, and Marchand pounces on this puck before Stolarz can react and get to his right.
21st of the year for Brad Marchand. And the Bruins with a power play goal, making a 2-goal lead here in the first period.
Stolarz read the initial pass well. He got the stick out there, but the deflection goes right off the, I said, the head and body of McCabe, and lays there for Marchand to chip it home.
McCabe cracked his stick across the left post after that goal went in as well. As Zadorov throws one wide of Stolarz off the back of the net, taken by Riley toward the far corner. Pass intended for Nylander, jumped away from him, but settled by Tavares.
Sequence of events, right? You've got a 2-on-1 for the Leafs. Pass gets over to Matthews. He rips it off the far post. And then after a whistle down in the offensive zone, the Bruins go to work, winning the face-off and get a good break. And Marchand makes them pay.
Kastelik in on the forecheck, hammers Timmins in the corner. Puck, though, grabbed and brought out of the zone by Bobby McMahon. Turned over in the neutral ice. Callahan sends it off the far boards. Kastelik chips it into the zone. Beecher got it around behind the net. Koepke goes crashing in behind there against Max Domi. Wotherspoon and McMahon dueling for it in the near corner. Now it's Beecher keeping it alive. Fanned on it. Now Domi's got a step. Domi trying to get in on the break. Moving toward the slot. And Swayman kept it out of the net. Domi looking for a penalty. Is going to get one, apparently.
He's going to...
As Riley chopped it toward the corner. And the Bruins will touch it up.
Referee at center ice is going to call this.
The one right there did not.
The one right there did not.
So with 4:37 to go in the first, it's the Bruins with a 2-0 lead, and Toronto to the power play when we come back on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V. It's your local Honda dealer.
With Cox Mobile, you're covered coast to coast, so you can call your friends anytime on that road trip from New York City to L.A., even in, Franklin, Illinois.
Huh, what if I call from Franklin, Georgia?
Yep, covered.
Ooh, Franklin, Texas?
Uh-huh.
Franklin, Kansas, Missouri, Virginia, Nebraska,
all covered. Cox Mobile runs on the network with more nationwide coverage than T-Mobile and has call quality you can rely on. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. Cox Internet required. Comparison based on percentage of area covered by T-Mobile as compared to Cox Mobile from FCC National Broadband Map of U.S. as of 12/31/23. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable. Silverado. Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Tracks.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV.
Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. Visit your New England Chevy dealers.
You've been hitting the gym, taking the stairs, and running that extra mile. But did you know that improving your health is also a step toward lower life insurance rates? At SelectQuote, we make sure you're rewarded for your healthy lifestyle. For 40 years, we've helped more than 2 million customers secure over $700 billion in life insurance coverage. And our healthiest customers are covered by the time they hang up with an experienced licensed insurance agent. That's right. Qualifying customers can get up to $5 million in life insurance with no medical exam required. A medical exam can add weeks onto the approval process for life insurance, but our exclusive no medical exam policy ensures you're covered by the time you hang up. Plus, many policies are less than $1 per day. Being fit doesn't just feel good, it pays off. See what you could save on life insurance with SelectQuote. Go to SelectQuote.com for your free quote today. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
The only place to hear the game, the Sports Hub.
Fans, come on down to TD Garden on Thursday night as the Bees wrap up their homestand against the New York Islanders starting at 7 p.m. Head to bostonbruins.com/tickets and lock in your seat to all the action. 4:37 left in the first. Bruins up 2-0. Johnny Beecher going off to the penalty box for holding Max Domi.
Yeah, it's just... So Beecher fans on a pass at the offensive blue line. Max Domi's going to get on his horse going down the left wing side. Beecher's trying to angle him off. Does he reach in? Yeah, you make the case that it's a penalty. I'm surprised that the referee that was closest and had the best look at it didn't make the call, and it was made by one at center ice. And I know that, you know, that the referee that's closest might be looking for other things that go on, whether the puck goes in or not, but that's not the angle from center ice.
No. As here's Matthews off the draw, tried a shot blocked by Elias Lindholm, and shorthanded, he'll bring the Bruins forward across the Toronto line. Took the shot, Stolar's stick save. Rebound goes off to the far wall. Lindholm and Zacha trying to keep it deep. Marner settles things down behind the Toronto net. Maple Leafs moving from right to left as Marner drops one back to Matthews. He'll skate it up to the red line and now across the blue. Left side pass for Tavares. Off the near boards, poked to the blue line by Zacha, but not out. Carlo gets it in the slot and clears it up the middle. And at 20 to go on the Beecher penalty. Here's Matthews getting the pass in the neutral zone. Back across the Boston line. Drop pass for Tavares. He deals it back to Marner. Over to the far side now. Nylander stepping in right circle. Whistled one up and over the net. Rebound out of the corner comes to Coyle, and he just missed Marchand coming through the neutral zone shorthanded.
Yeah. Had a possibility to be a 2-on-1, but Coyle was at the end of his shift, and Matthews would have caught him anyhow. So
Marchand able to get it to Peak, though, and he'll drive it deep. Marchand in there against Tavares, able to get position on him. Now Marner takes one away, but some valuable clock killed on this penalty with 45 seconds to go. 3:20 left in the first period. Marner leaves the puck behind the net, heads off on a change as Ekman Larson brings it toward the near circle. Hands it back to Domi, coming out of his own zone, through the neutral zone. McMahon bumped by Peak, but couldn't knock him off the puck. Riley has it far circle. Try to pull everyone apart here with 16 seconds left in the period. Chris Rooney laying on the whistle pretty hard, trying to get McMahon and Frederick to let each other go.
It's Between the Pipes is sponsored by Charles D. Sheehy. If you're in the piping trades, you need to call Charles D. Sheehy, Boston's premier piping and mechanical product supplier. CDS is your local leader. Between the Pipes for the Leafs here tonight is Anthony Stolars, and for the Bruins, Jeremy Swayman.
Swayman has stopped 7 so far in his 42nd start of the year. That's one shy of his career high.
His numbers at home lately have been excellent. He took the loss the other night, but
you mentioned earlier Anthony Stolars. He missed 24 games with a knee injury earlier this year. It's 11-5-2 in 19 appearances with a 2.13 goals against and a .928 save percentage. Pitched a shutout against the Bruins back on November the 5th.
He's a huge guy, right? I mean, he's 6'6",
243.
He's very active in the net for,
Domi a keep in here at the Boston blue line. 8 to go on the power play for the Leafs. They'll set up Riley at that left point. Now Domi centering pass to McMahon, moved it toward the slot, but Zacha took it away and backhands it out of the zone.
Zadorov got a piece of it that slowed it up and allowed Zacha to get there. He tried to have that 2-on-1 right in front of the net.
Bruins back to full strength. 2.5 minutes to play in the period. They lead 2-0. As Camp gets around Pastrnak to get out into neutral ice. Still carrying the puck as he gains the Boston line. Around behind the net. Callahan ridden to the boards by Lorenz, but pins the puck up against the end wall. Camp trying to dig in for it as well. Lorai's back there for the Bruins. Into the far corner. Geeky will get to it first and backhands a floater out of the zone. And a reload quickly. Here comes Steves. He'll skate it down the left wing side and into the near corner. Around the boards to the far side. Camp reversed it back into that corner for Steves. It'll come behind the net. Free puck to Callahan. Backhands it along for Pastrnak. Taken away. Lorenz, high slot. Took a shot. Blocked by Lorai. Steves whipped it toward the back of the net.
Steves is wide open in front.
Here's McCabe at the right point with a shot redirected by Lorenz. Came bouncing towards Swayman, who got a piece of it. The Bruins come away with it with Patra leading him back through neutral ice to Pastrnak. Moving toward the high slot, trying to drag it around Benoit. Benoit collided with Steves with both guys going down. Puck skids out of the zone and right back in.
Pretty good defensive play there by Benoit. He's had a couple of them this period.
Marchand in the far left wing corner, trying to get that puck to Coyle. Take it away instead. It'll come around the near side and lifted into the Boston zone, but sent right back out of there by Pete. Nylander will sweep it back in, and Swayman stopping it behind the net. Here under a minute to play in the period. Tavares takes it off the far wall. Carries down along the end boards. Poked at by Lindholm. Puck brought behind the net by Nylander to the near circle. All the way out to the blue line. Gave it to Ekman Larson. Had to kick it onto his stick. Pass off to the right side and a centering pass. Tavares right in front, battling with Pete. Bruins will come away with a puck. Coyle batting one ahead from the neutral zone into the Toronto end and heads off on a change with 30 to go in the period. Ekman Larson skating it to the red line. Dealing with some pressure from Geeky. Ekman Larson going to carry it down the right wing side into Zadorov's corner far side. Nyes will push it around the near side boards. And up and out of the zone it goes. And Pasternak's going to race down there and beat an icing. Pastrnak with the puck behind the Toronto net. Sent one right out in front. Zacha couldn't get a stick on it. Here's a chance in front for Geeky. Banging away at it. 2 or 3 chances, and at least one hit the post, it sounded like. Carlo with a shot. Stolarz without a stick makes a save as the siren sounds. So Pastrnak out hustling and icing and nearly able to see the Bruins make this a 3-0 game.
Stolarz made 2 saves on
Garden. And we'll be back to talk about Don Sweeney's press conference from Sunday morning next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
With Cox Mobile, you're covered coast to coast, so you can call your friends anytime on that road trip from New York City to L.A., even in, Franklin, Illinois.
Huh, what if I call from Franklin, Georgia?
Yep, covered.
Ooh, Franklin, Texas?
Uh-huh.
Franklin, Kansas, Missouri, Virginia, Nebraska,
all
Connecticut.
covered. Cox Mobile runs on the network with more nationwide coverage than T-Mobile and has call quality you can rely on. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. Cox Internet required. Comparison based on percentage of area covered by T-Mobile as compared to Cox Mobile from FCC National Broadband Map of U.S. as of 12/31/23. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
You've been hitting the gym, taking the stairs, and running that extra mile. But did you know that improving your health is also a step toward lower life insurance rates? At SelectQuote, we make sure you're rewarded for your healthy lifestyle. For 40 years, we've helped more than 2 million customers secure over $700 billion in life insurance coverage. And our healthiest customers are covered by the time they hang up with an experienced licensed insurance agent. That's right. Qualifying customers can get up to $5 million in life insurance with no medical exam required. A medical exam can add weeks onto the approval process for life insurance, but our exclusive no medical exam policy ensures you're covered by the time you hang up. Plus, many policies are less than $1 per day. Being fit doesn't just feel good, it pays off. See what you could save on life insurance with SelectQuote. Go to SelectQuote.com for your free quote today. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service, real-time updates only in iOS mobile apps. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
WIC is a supplemental nutrition program that plays a crucial role in improving the health and well-being of children by providing families access to healthy foods, nutritional education, and other essential support services. WIC programs help improve the long-term health outcomes of mothers and children by ensuring all eligible families, regardless of immigration status, have access to cost-free nutrition resources they need to thrive. If you or someone you know could benefit from WIC, visit health.ri.gov/WIC or reach out to your local WIC office to learn more about eligibility and how to apply.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Felger and Maz, afternoons 2 to 6 on the Sports Hub.
Back here at TD Garden, where the Bruins have a 2-0 lead over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Alongside Bob Beers, I'm Ryan Johnston. We wanted to take some time here in our first intermission to talk about some of the storylines coming out of the press conference that Don Sweeney held on Sunday morning, and talking about the upcoming trade deadline in particular and his approach, which is going to be a lot different than we've seen in recent years.
Historically, we've been pretty aggressive. When our team's been in a position, I think we'll take a much more cautious approach as we approach the deadline. That being said, if there are opportunities to improve our team now and certainly moving forward, whether that's positional shifts or other teams are trying to identify that we may have a strength at, we will look at all opportunities.
I think he's in one of the tougher spots, and he's not alone. There's other GMs in the same spot. Do you believe in a team and try to add and try to get yourself into the playoffs, or do you and it doesn't mean you don't make the playoffs if you make some trades. So, you've got some pending unrestricted free agents. You've got pending restricted free agents. And you might not stop there. If you do make some changes, you've got other players who would be valuable to other teams. Good players. Maybe you aren't having the years that you hoped that they would have, and that's kind of paraphrasing what he said. And we kind of know who they are. That would they benefit from a change of scenery? Would they help a playoff team? Would they be better slotted as opposed to maybe where they're slotted now? They could be slotted a little bit further down the lineup to a playoff or a Stanley Cup contender. So I think there's a lot of balls in motion right now, and I'm sure he didn't shy away from. There's going to be a lot of phone calls made here in the next little while, and but he's in a tough spot of whether to add, whether to subtract, and how you handle things coming up. Can you replenish the draft picks? And you've started to do that already, but replenish some of those draft picks, get some more prospects into the system. And how do you go about that? How do you best go about that moving forward?
And anything he does is going to be with an eye on the longer term than it is about the right now. That's pretty
I would
clear.
hope so.
Yeah,
I would hope so. But at the same time, it's you get a team that all of a sudden wins 3 in a row, 4 in a row, heading into the playoff or heading into the trade deadline, and do you get fooled by that, or is it the real team? Right. And so. My thing is like they've had a big enough sample size up until this point of the season that you kind of have an idea of what they are. And unless they can prove you different here in the short term, I don't know.
Well, and certainly what's going against them is the injury to Charlie McAvoy during the Four Nations, and now this news that Hampus Lindholm unlikely to return this season.
Hampus, unfortunately, is unlikely to return for the rest of the season. As everybody knows, he had a significant knee injury, fractured his patella, had surgery. He's going to have a follow-up next week to remove a little bit of the hardware because it created some irritation as he was going through the rehab.
Yeah, that's the whole topper, right? Not only you're without Lindholm, which you've been without most of the year, he's your number 2 defenseman. And how effective would he have been coming back after missing all that time and the major injury that he had? Sure. He was skating, obviously done now. And then McAvoy, and Don Sweeney didn't want to put a timeline on it, but I'm sure he has a pretty good idea. You're missing your top 2 defensemen. Yeah. That's a big hill to climb without those 2 in there.
Well, and now they have to take a look at the lens of, as you said, free agents, both unrestricted and restricted. Let's start with the captain, Brad Marchand.
That's always been my ultimate goal. We've been in negotiations with Brad and communicating with him throughout the year. We'll have to have a conversation now that Four Nations is over, and sit down with Brad and his representatives and have a clearer path in the next 2 weeks as to what his final outcome will be.
But what about the other free agents? Will they potentially have contracts before the deadline is done?
Everybody's a little bit in the same boat at this point in time, that it's unlikely that we'll move forward with things other than maybe Brad's, but you never know, because obviously it takes one phone call and things change around.
That was a telling remark for me. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm overblowing it, but they're not going to have talks with anybody except Brad right now, for Brad Marchand right now, with any of the free agents. And we said there's some unrestricted and some restricted. I think that gives you a pretty good indication of what direction they might go. The restricted ones, maybe you find some common ground and you work something out from the off season. And who knows? Like you said, things can change in a hurry. So we'll keep an eye on it, but not much more time. Just over a week.
And when you're talking about the unrestricted free agents, you got Marchand, Frederick, Brazo, Koepke, Wotherspoon, Callahan, all on that list. The restricted free agents include Geeky, Beecher, Wallstrom, and Lohrei. So, there's a lot of this roster that's very much in flux and doesn't sound like they will have deals in time for the deadline. So, who knows what that means for the future of any of those players beyond next Friday. Bruins have a 2-0 lead here over the Toronto Maple Leafs after one period of play at TD Garden. David Pasternak's 29th goal of the year from Mason Lohrei and Pavel Zacha 29 seconds into that first period. And then Brad Marchand with a power play goal from Pastrnak and Mason Lohrei at 13:59 to make it 2-0. The Bruins very nearly added one in the final seconds of that period. But it's a 2-0 lead over Toronto after one. We'll get a check of the Sports Hub headlines with Joe Murray as our first intermission continues on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
With Cox Mobile, you're covered coast to coast, so you can call your friends anytime on that road trip from New York City to L.A., even in, Franklin, Illinois.
Huh, what if I call from Franklin, Georgia?
Yep, covered.
Ooh, Franklin, Texas?
Uh-huh.
Franklin, Kansas, Missouri, Virginia, Nebraska,
all
Connecticut?
covered. Cox Mobile runs on the network with more nationwide coverage than T-Mobile and has call quality you can rely on. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. Cox Internet required. Comparison based on percentage of area covered by T-Mobile as compared to Cox Mobile from FCC National Broadband Map of U.S. as of 12/31/23. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
Taxes was taxing. Now taxes is relaxing when you file for free.
I can file for free? TurboTax Free Edition. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple Form 1040 returns only. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. I can file for free.
Now this is taxes. File for free with TurboTax Free Edition and get your maximum refund. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, and student loan interest. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free.
You've been hitting the gym, taking the stairs, and running that extra mile. But did you know that improving your health is also a step toward lower life insurance rates? At SelectQuote, we make sure you're rewarded for your healthy lifestyle. For 40 years, we've helped more than 2 million customers secure over $700 billion in life insurance coverage. And our healthiest customers are covered by the time they hang up with an experienced licensed insurance agent. That's right. Qualifying customers can get up to $5 million in life insurance with no medical exam required. A medical exam can add weeks onto the approval process for life insurance, but our exclusive no medical exam policy ensures you're covered by the time you hang up. Plus, many policies are less than $1 per day. Being fit doesn't just feel good, it pays off. See what you could save on life insurance with SelectQuote. Go to SelectQuote.com for your free quote today. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
The home of the Bees, the Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines.
All right, taking a look around scores on the ice tonight. Right now, after one period, Anaheim leads Buffalo 1-0. Also, the Canadiens have a 2-0 lead right now over Carolina. It's the Flyers 2, Penguins 0. Flames out to a 2-0 lead, while Columbus leads Dallas 2-1. Two games underway right now. No score between Tampa Bay and Edmonton. And the Rangers and Islanders, they are tied at 1 with 8 minutes to go in the first period. Later on tonight, Blues and Kraken. Nashville hosts the Panthers. The Wild, they'll host Detroit. And Chicago, they travel to take on Utah. Puck drops for that one at 9 p.m. The Celtics currently in action in Toronto tonight. They lead the Raptors 54-48 just before the game started. Kristaps Porzingis left the game, or never really played. He was doubtful for it tonight with an illness. Right now, Celtics lead 54-48. Jaylen Brown has 9 points. Peyton Pritchard has 10 points off the bench. Registration for girls Learn to Play, represented by Pure Hockey, is now open. The Boston Bruins program returns this spring to help girls ages 5 to 10 who are aspiring youth hockey players develop their skills. To register, head to bostonbruins.com/girls Learn to Play. Headlines are brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit newenglandoilchange.com. You can save 15% off your next drive-through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. I'm Joe Murray. Second period's next on the 98.5 The Sports of Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
When we started writing our thoughts down on paper, it opened up endless possibilities. Ideas could grow beyond the borders of the mind, and it changed the world. Somewhere along the way, we lost touch with paper, distracted by devices made for every purpose except thinking and focus. On edge, waiting for the next notification. But what if new technology didn't pull us away from paper, but brought us closer to it? Listen. That's not paper. It's the sound of the new Remarkable Paper Pro, rewriting the future. A paper tablet with a true color ink display, gentle reading light, and unheard of tactility, with digital features for taking notes, thinking, and organizing, without any distractions. Paper is about to change the world again. Get your paper tablet at remarkable.com today.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went...
I'm so excited.
Yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And Emily summed it up like so.
It is just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
Rose is your name, but when you poop it sure don't smell like roses. Your number 2 burns the hair in my nose, but we fought hand in paw. Now your poop don't stink at all. Now that the air is clear, I'll treasure your front and rear, my sweet Rose.
Instantly neutralize poop stink with Poop Fighter from World's Best Cat Litter for the world's best cat.
You've been hitting the gym, taking the stairs, and running that extra mile. But did you know that improving your health is also a step toward lower life insurance rates? At SelectQuote, we make sure you're rewarded for your healthy lifestyle. For 40 years, we've helped more than 2 million customers secure over $700 billion in life insurance coverage. And our healthiest customers are covered by the time they hang up with an experienced licensed insurance agent. That's right. Qualifying customers can get up to $5 million in life insurance with no medical exam required. A medical exam can add weeks onto the approval process for life insurance, but our exclusive no medical exam policy ensures you're covered by the time you hang up. Plus, many policies are less than $1 per day. Being fit doesn't just feel good, it pays off. See what you could save on life insurance with SelectQuote. Go to SelectQuote.com for your free quote today. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
Experience the vibrant energy and innovative spirit of Gwicha, where traditional Irish music meets contemporary brilliance. Coming to UConn's Jorgensen Centre in stores on Saturday, March 1st. Named Live Ireland's Traditional Group of the Year, Gwicha's distinctive sound lies in the quality of its own compositions. Expect to hear some age-old Irish tunes as well. Get your tickets today at jorgensen.uconn.edu.
Connect with Boston's home for sports online. 98.5thesportshub.com.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification across the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. WBZ-FM at HD Boston. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
2-0, the Bruins have the lead over the Toronto Maple Leafs after one. We're joined downstairs by Pavel Zacha. Pav, tell me a little bit about the start And that first goal less than 30 seconds in as you guys got the jump here on Toronto.
Yeah, I think it's, we were talking about we need really good starts. All these games mean a lot to us, and we just have to, have good starts, winning the puck battles, and always it helps to have a goal to start, but I think we, created momentum even without the goal, and every line's, rolling, so it's good.
When you're facing a team like Toronto that has so many talented offensive players, as a forward, what do you have to be concerned most about defensively?
Yeah, I think, they have a lot of, as you said, a lot of talented players. I think they like to roll, so I think being, more compact around the net and being able to get the rebounds if they have shots and then go from there, I don't think they're that good defensively, so that's one of the things that we have to do better.
What do you need to do to keep this momentum going to start the second period?
I just think it always starts with, winning the puck battles, chipping the pucks in a little bit more simple to neutral zone, and then winning those battles. I think if we keep going like this, we have a chance to win.
I appreciate the time. Good luck in the second.
Thank you.
All right, thanks to Pavel Zacha for joining us. He's brought to you by TD Bank. TD Bank cardholders score special benefits at TD Garden, from pro shop discounts and free tours to free popcorn and more. Learn more at the TD Garden website. TD Bank, bank of the Boston Celtics and Bruins. Bruins up by a pair as we start the second period. Boston will be going from right to left on offense here in period number 2. They outshot the Leafs 15-8 in that first period. Morgan Geeky will take the opening faceoff here against Tavares, and Tavares wins the draw. Off the far boards, Holmberg will sweep one into the Bruins zone. Lohrei goes behind the net. Off the near wall. And it's Zacha pushing it forward. Held in at the blue line by Holmberg, but cleared out again by Lohrei, who had a pair of assists in that first period. Off the near side boards, McCabe will play it into open ice for Benoit. Skating up through neutral ice, carries across the Boston line. Puck thrown wide of the net by Holmberg. It'll come around near side. Zacha gives to Pastrnak coming across the red line. Trying to get it back to the left side for Zacha. It was blocked, taken by Benoit, and he turns it back up ice for Toronto. Pass angled behind Nylander. Batted back forward by Lohrei. Now it hits Marchand, and he's got it in the Toronto zone, wrestling with Riley as they go down to the end wall. Matthews takes a free puck, goes around behind the net. Tangled up in front of the Bruins bench by Elias Lindholm. Pastrnak will push it down the right wing wall. Marchand giving chase, but Riley got to it first. It'll come around the near side. Marchand and Matthews collide. And the puck comes out toward Marner near the red line. Ekman Larsson will drive one into the Boston zone. Took a funny hop. Swayman had gone behind the net to play the puck. Instead, it came toward his crease.
Yeah, the puck was dumped in. It might have gone off of a stanchion or it went off of a stick.
Swayman had to scramble back between the pipes before it got there along the near side boards. And Marchand
just got wiped out by Domi.
Domi flips the puck back to Timmins for a shot that directs up and over Swayman's net. Near side corner, Zadorov lifting one up the boards, knocked down by Domi, but he did so with a high stick.
Marchand giving the referee an earful right now. I don't know how many people saw that, but Domi knocked him right down, and that a couple of guys were battling for the puck.
A minute 39 gone in this second period.
A little cross check to the ribs. Yeah.
It wasn't
Where was
very far away.
Where was the back referee on that one?
Wasn't very far away from the puck. Missed that one. Yeah. So unlike a Domi to do something like that, too. Puck chipped down into the Boston zone by Patra. Stolars went behind the net. Puck nearly got away from him as Boston was coming his way.
Took his eyes off of it, and it took a funny bounce.
Ekman Larsson sends it for McMahon back through the neutral ice, but it'll be right onto the stick of Callahan just inside the Boston blue line. Patra will chip it around Ekman Larsson and deep into the Toronto zone. Riley spun it around the far boards. Domi waiting for it over there. He got it up into neutral ice, knocked out of midair with a high stick by Patra, and then Ekman Larsson gave him a shot at the whistle, and Patra
Frederick's coming after.
Back.
Is that Domi he's going after in front of the bench? I hope so.
Yeah, he's got him bent up over the Leafs, in front of the Leafs bench.
Ekman Larsson and Patra's a big size mismatch. Ekman Larsson's not the toughest guy, but that's a big size mismatch.
Wotherspoon got in there and took Patra's place. Get in Ekman Larsson's face.
11 Toronto, minor penalty, cross-checking.
They're going to get Domi for a cross-check now.
Getting somebody for it.
That's him. So the Bruins, it looks like, going to go back to the power play. 2:10 gone in this second period.
Oh, you missed the first one, but you got that one, I guess. Was it the cross-check after the whistle on Frederick getting up high?
Not really sure.
Might have been.
Yeah. So Domi to the box. Power play brought to you by Bosch Tools. Engineered for efficiency, comfort, and ease. Bosch Power Tools are built to keep workers going at full strength. Bosch Power Tools, what hard workers deserve.
Or was it on Patra? Is that what started the whole thing? Either way.
Bruins 1 for 1 on the power play in the first period. Go to work here again. Up by 2 in the game. Face off in the offensive zone. Again, Geeky joins the first power play unit here. As Pastrnak from the top of the right circle with the shot. Long rebound. Geeky threw one back at the net. Kicked back toward him. He'll deal it back toward Warai at the point. On to Pastrnak, right circle. Set one across just behind Geeky. Gets it off the carom. Center blue line, Warai trades it with Geeky. Geeky gets pressured by Marner, spins it down low to Marchand. Marchand to the back of the net, looking for Pastrnak, picked off by Matthews, and he clears.
Geeky playing with a lot of confidence right now, right? I mean, he had those chances late in the first period. Wish he could have potted one of those, but at that time he's in the left wing circle. Makes a nice play, looking off some of the pressure that he's got down low.
He's got 8 goals in his last 12 games, and he could have quite a few more than that. Dumped down ice. Swayman sets it up for Warai. Bruins moving right to left. Warai gives to Pastrnak, cutting out of the zone. Carries through the neutral ice. Flips it off to the right side. Elias Lindholm. Double teamed along the far boards. Got it to Pastrnak and rimmed around the near side for Geeky. Tried to get it back to Warai. It was blocked, but Lindholm is there. Gets it over to the far side again to Pastrnak. Right circle. Sent one across. Geeky was cocked and ready, but Kampf going to stick on the puck. Warai to Pastrnak now with the right circle. Down low to Marchand. In front, looking for Geeky again. That one cut off and spun around the far boards, but kept alive by Pastrnak. Elias Lindholm kicks a pass onto his stick. Ridden into the far wall by Kampf, who goes down. And Ekman Larsson able to swat the puck all the way down ice. 25 to go on the power play as Warai circles back behind Swayman and picks up the puck. Brings it out toward his own blue line. Gets around Marner, fighting his way through neutral ice. Puck slipped away from him. It'll be played off the near boards by McCabe into the neutral zone. Marner to Riley and across the Boston line. Patra back to make the defensive play and take it away.
Riley's got a couple goals against the Bruins this season.
Brought through the neutral zone here by Patra. Frederick reaching out to try and get that puck into the corner against McCabe.
Good hit by
Power play comes
McCabe.
to an end.
Good hit by McCabe. Trent Fredrickson, I don't know if it's his skate blade. He's limping as he's going off the ice.
Zacha blocks a Domi pass inside the Boston zone. Frederick gets back to the bench and gets replaced. Timmons just outside the Boston blue line. Patra able to get one away from Nylander and drop it back.
That's not a skate blade for Frederick, because he wouldn't have been able to get to the bench like that.
He's getting looked at right now. Puck in the neutral ice on the stick of Nylander and dumped it in. Swayman couldn't stop it behind the net. Carlo in the far corner, hit by Tavares. Puck to Benoit at the point. Shot redirected off of Zadorov in front. Swayman catches it out of the air and hangs on.
Yeah, all in all, pretty good power play for the Bruins. You know, Pastrnak is looking. He's normally he's in the left wing circle, right? So now they move him over to the right wing circle, and that's kind of interchangeable. But they're going to see what that looks like. And he would step into the circle, comes out high, arcs out high. Now he's got more time and space in that circle. Fake shot as a right-hand shot in the right wing circle, and then zips the pass across the seam, looking for Geeky on the one-timer in the left wing circle. And that was read well by the Leafs, making sure that that pass a couple times didn't get across.
Frederick just went up the tunnel into the Bruins locker room. So we'll keep an eye on that. About 5 minutes gone in the second period.
No Tanev here for the second period either.
Shot save made by Swayman. Rebound sat loose in front, and Koepke got tripped up going for it. And the Bruins are going to go back to the power play as Kastelik and Ekman Larsson collide at center ice. And Kastelik has some words for him and a few shoves. And now Koepke and Holmberg see some temper swearing as well.
Now, Toronto's not happy, right? They're down 2-0, and now things start to pick up a little bit. A lot of stuff after the whistles. Kastelik saying, "Oh, you're tough when Patra was in front of you."
Little different.
Little different. I don't try not to go on those tangents because it was, but it's it's interesting.
So Pontus Holmberg to the box for tripping Kepke. And the Bruins go right back onto the power play here. Their third of the game already.
Well, they've scored on one, and they had a good-looking power play on the second one. Let's see if they convert on this one. Yeah, Marchand take that puck stronger than the net, tried to make that pass backdoor to Geeky. We talked about Pastrnak trying to find Geeky in the left wing circle.
Off the draw, it came right to Geeky, and he whistled one just over the crossbar. Benoit wraps it up the far boards, held in by Pastrnak out of the blue line. Steps it down to the top of the circle. Got it down low to Marchand off of Stolarz. And it'll be cleared off the near boards around Lori. Marner takes a dive, gets the call. As Pastrnak touches the puck back in the Bruins zone, they're going to call it a cross check against Mason Lori, and that'll kill the last minute 38 of the power play. Lori argues as he heads into the box.
Yeah, Marner pushing this puck around him. Lori, well, just listen to the fans' reaction.
Come on. Mitch Marner would be a little stronger on his skates than that.
Well, he embellishes, there's no question, and you got the Leafs arguing one way, and yeah. It's not I'll say that it was not a cross check.
So it's 4-on-4 here for a little over 90 seconds.
The fans will paint the picture for you on that one.
Riley pass off to the left side for Nylander. Nylander working against Peak out of the far corner, brings it out toward the blue line. Wheels it over to Ekman-Larsson at the right point. Pressured by Zacha. Keeps the puck in the zone. Matthews just inside the blue line. High slot for Nylander. Wheels it toward the left wing circle. Brings it back in front for Matthews. A shot. Save made by Swayman. And Zadorov's got the free puck. Pivots away from Nylander. Pass on to Peak. Peak quickly under pressure. Able to get the puck loose to Zadorov. With some space as he comes through the neutral ice. Carries across the line. Gives to Zacha right side. Zacha across to Coyle left circle. Stolarz made the save as Coyle put the shot back to his glove side. Minute 5 to go on the Lori penalty. Be about 30 seconds of power play time for the Leafs. With 35 seconds left on their mind. Tavares had it knocked off his stick. Now Marner with a backhand chance from the left circle. Save made by Swayman. And he hangs on to it. So we've got 13-18 left in the second. And the Bruins with a 2-0 lead here on home ice. On the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network. Driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home, yes, cool, or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
My brother-in-law died suddenly. Now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. After that, I told my wife we couldn't put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month. A savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com.
The Celtics play here at the Sports Hub.
13-18 left in the second period, and the Bruins with a 2-0 lead. The Maple Leafs have announced that defenseman Chris Tanev will not return to tonight's game with an upper body injury suffered early in that first period when he took a hit from Johnny Beecher. And we still have not seen Trent Frederick return since he went to the locker room
It was low. It was left. He got a good hit from McCabe. They were both kind of coming together, and I don't know if Frederick was expecting it, but McCabe ended up getting the better of it and kind of buckled Frederick, and he limped off the ice. Got some treatment from the trainer, or got looked at by the trainer, and eventually goes down to the locker room.
Bruins trying to clear here on a 4-on-4. Nylander kept it in. They'll work it back to Ekman-Larsson out near the blue line as the Leafs get set up here, trying to center. Pastrnak picked one out of the air.
Yeah, that was intended for Tavares.
Pastrnak going to carry out into neutral ice. Staying ahead of Tavares, carries across the line. Stick handles his way toward the slot, and just got away from him as Lindholm is right there with him. Now Nylander brings back Toronto onto the power play for the short time here along the left wing circle. A centering pass, and Nylander floating in front, couldn't redirect it. Holmberg trying to push it down the wall, didn't get much on it. Zadorov to Lindholm. He'll hammer it down into the Toronto zone, and the final seconds tick off the Mason Lohrei penalty. So with 12.5 to go in the second, Bruins up by 2, and the team's at full strength. Leafs can't gain entry into the Boston zone near the red line. Holmberg hit by Beecher. Lohrei going to carry the puck forward, backhanded in. He'll head off on part of a change. Puck knocked away from Beecher, as was his stick. Timmins brings out to the Toronto line. Pass off the skate of Matthews. Kicks deep into the Boston zone. Peak hit by Matthews, but played the puck around the near wall. Timmins kept alive near the hash marks. Shoots it back around. McCabe skating down toward the corner. He'll rattle it back around the near side. Timmins going to hand it back to Marner at the blue line. Over to McCabe and back to Marner. He takes a shot that goes through some traffic and wide to the stick side of Swayman. McMahon now carrying toward the left circle. Back to McCabe at the point. Worked it down the wall. Marner brings back to the blue line, and a pass that is deflected and out of the zone thanks to Kastelik. Marner going to gather it right back in on the attack. Heels to Domi. His shot got smothered by Beecher, and Kastelik will get to the red line, dump it in, and then Benoit came for a hit. Kastelik gave it right back to him.
Yeah, Kastelik still standing the bench, challenging Benoit. Benoit's a tough customer.
Robertson with a shot that goes wide of Swayman. Off the near boards, Ekman-Larsson gets it back in deep. Domi in the corner, pressured by Oliver Wahlstrom. Puck came to the side of the net, denied there by Callahan, right back into the corner. Robertson bumped by Wahlstrom, fights him off, comes to the side of the net. Swayman held his ground, puck off the outside of the net, and Wahlstrom will head the other way. Up the far right wing side. Footer in behind the Toronto net. Sent around the near boards, and Robertson pushed it up into neutral ice. Matthew Nye is going to lift it into the Boston zone. Nye's had a heck of a year, including against the Bruins. 5 goals and 8 points in 3 previous
games. He lit it up in Toronto.
Yeah, had a 5-point night, a +6 the last time these two teams got together.
Marner had a big night there as well.
Here's Koepke sweeping one in behind the Toronto net. Goes and gets it himself. Gets it to Marchand at the right circle. Back to Peak at the point with a shot. A save made. We get a penalty coming up here as Koepke gets knocked off a rebound by McCabe. And the whistle comes, and an interference call coming against the Leafs.
McCabe plays with a lot of intensity, and he gets fired up when things... He got fired up after that goal that Marchand scored in the first period. No fault of his own. I mean, the puck deflects off of his shoulder. Now he's a little frustrated going to the box right now. The interference called down on Koepke around the front of the net.
This will be power play number 4 for the Bruins, right about the midway point of this hockey game. Scored on 1 back in the first period. That was Marchand's goal. As we've mentioned a couple of times tonight, with Geeky joining this first power play unit, things have looked a little different, a little crisper.
Well, so far, guys. I mean, they scored once. They had some chances.
Here's Marchand. Tic-tac-toe. Geeky scores! Off the rebound. They got it to Geeky, and he fires it home. It's 3-0.
We've been preaching all year long to use the bumper, but it's got to be quick puck movement in order to do it. Lindholm's been good on the draws. Their power play goal in the first period was because he wins a face-off and the Bruins have possession. He wins this face-off, the Bruins have possession. They're going to go quick down to Marchand, and It's just going to be a one-touch pass to Lindholm, who gets lost right at the right wing hash mark. Stolarz makes a good save, but it comes right to Geeky in the left wing circle. So Pastrnak down to Marchand, one-touch pass to Lindholm. He gets a good shot away. It's a nice save. He can't control that rebound. He's got to, first things first, got to stop the puck. And it's a bang-bang play, and we just have not used that play enough. We used to see it all the time with 37 in there in Bergeron, but
here's a giveaway right in front of the Toronto net, and just out of Zacha's reach as Geeky tried to get it to him coming down the left side of the crease. Nylander gets it to Tavares. He shoots it wide of Swayman off the near boards at an angle out of the zone. Pastrnak through the neutral ice. Overshot Geeky with that pass, and the puck bounces off of Zacha and goes into the Bruins bench for a stoppage. We've got 9:28 to go in the second, and the Bruins have a 3-0 lead over the Maple Leafs here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
With Cox Mobile, you're covered coast to coast, so you can call your friends anytime on that road trip from New York City to LA, even in, Franklin, Illinois.
Huh, what if I call from Franklin, Georgia?
Yep, covered.
Ooh, Franklin, Texas?
Uh-huh.
Franklin, Kansas, Missouri, Virginia, Nebraska,
all
Connecticut.
covered. Cox Mobile runs on the network with more nationwide coverage than T-Mobile and has call quality you can rely on. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. Cox Internet required. Comparison based on percentage of area covered by T-Mobile as compared to Cox Mobile from FCC National Broadband Map of US as of 12/31/23. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went,
I'm so excited.
yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and Emily summed it up like so.
It is just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Listen live. Check out our podcast with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
Bruins have a 3-0 lead. Morgan Geeky's power play goal from Elias Lindholm and Brad Marchand is our delivery of the game, delivered by Granite City Electric's GCE Night Train. Electrical contractors, get on board the GCE Night Train. Order your materials to be delivered overnight to the job site the following morning and save time and money. Go to GCEnighttrain.com to order. Bruins are 2 for 4 on the power play in this game.
Fourth time this season that the Bruins are 2 for 4. Last time was against the Rangers not that long ago in a 6-3 win. But
it's lifted out into neutral ice here and batted past Parker Wotherspoon. Callahan skates back to get it in the Bruins zone. Sends it around the near boards. Wallstrom got caved in by McCabe along the near wall. But the puck came out of the zone. Comes back in, but Callahan and Wotherspoon right there. Wotherspoon plays it off the far boards and out toward the red line. Lorentz knocked it down. Comes back to Wotherspoon, on to Callahan. And now for Wallstrom, tapping it around McCabe. Patra trying to get in front of Lorentz to get that puck does, but Steves will take away on the near boards. Camp got bumped off his stride by Marchand. Steves will move it into the Boston zone, but stood up by Wotherspoon at the blue line. And right back out toward the red. Steves going to drive it back in again, partially blocked. Coyle gets to it in the corner first. 8:35 to go here in the second period. Bruins with a 3-0 lead. Long pass finds Marchand just inside the Toronto blue line. Marchand deals it around Ekman Larson to the back of the net. Lindholm got knocked off balance by Riley. Puck batted back his way, though, and centering pass looking for Coyle was broken up. Ekman Larson and Lindholm battling into the far circle. Lindholm comes away with the puck. Centers one for Coyle. Coyle, surrounded by white sweaters, backs off. Deals it down the boards for Lindholm behind the net. Now Marchand in the near corner. to Zadorov at the point. His shot got blocked by Nyes, kept alive by Coyle. Zadorov throws one through the slot, but tipped by Domi and taken by Riley. And out of the zone it goes. Jump in by Matthew Nyes. Nyes pressuring behind the net against Zadorov. Got one out in front. Matthews was out there, but knocked away from him. The Bruins clear it. Leafs will come back in their own zone to retrieve the puck. There's McCabe sending a long pass into the neutral ice. Poke check by Lohrei. Glove down by Marner. Skating into the right wing circle. Lohrei got a piece of a pass, but Leafs keep it alive. Marner walks it along the blue line. Has it taken away by Pastrnak. Pastrnak racing Marner up ice. Goes right to the net. And Stolar stays with him, as did Marner. Now a chance from the right circle by Geeky. And Stolarz holds that one.
Marner gave that puck away, but he's able to get back. And
face off in the offensive zone here for Geeky with 7:17 to go in the second. Puck will come out of the zone. And Peak gets it to Zacha, and back deep it goes. Stolarz comes out of the net, stops it, shoots it around the far glass. It'll be held by Peak at the right point. Zacha along the far wall. Rink wide pass. Pastrnak in front, redirected toward the net by Geeky. Pastrnak along the near side boards. Nylander a takeaway, got it out. Tavares brings it through the neutral ice. Riley chipped it toward the far corner. Tavares pass there by Lohrei. It'll come back toward the near corner. Leafs maintain possession. Nylander sends one toward the slot. Geeky in position to keep it away from Tavares, and Pastrnak will get it down into the Toronto zone as he runs into Holmberg. Bruins getting some changes done here. Leafs coming back the other way. Holmberg just inside the Boston line, trying to get it to Benoit. In the far corner, he battles with Wotherspoon, diving to poke check that puck. 6:30. Bruins will have a pair of afternoon games this coming weekend in Pittsburgh on Saturday and then in Minnesota on Sunday. Puck shot wide of Swayman here. Nyes sends one over to the far side. Riley shoots and scores. It is redirected in under the crossbar, and Toronto's on the board with 6:08 to go here in the second.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this went off of, but possession, offensive zone, and Riley's going to get into this left wing circle. We already mentioned he's got a couple against the Bruins this year. This is his third against Boston. Nice pass by Nyes, cross ice. Riley rips this puck, and I think it went off of a Bruins defenseman. Robertson was out front, so hard to tell who that hit. Wotherspoon maybe?
Yeah.
Shot maybe going wide. Yeah, it kind of goes off of his leg. And then nothing Swayman can do there. Robertson and Wotherspoon battling in front. Wotherspoon keeping him from the front of the net to allow Swayman to see that shot, but unfortunate bounce. It goes off the leg and in.
So it's a 2-goal Bruins lead. 6 minutes to go here in the period. As the puck comes around the Toronto zone, it'll be taken and brought up ice by Robertson. Carries across the Boston line. Drops one off for Domi. Shot steered away by Swayman. Out of the blue line, Nyes to keep in, but turned it over. Patra trying to fight his way up the left wing boards. Gets wrestled down by Domi, who's going to go off again.
No, he's just... He's going to complain that Patra was kind of holding him a little bit. But Domi, he takes bad penalties at times.
So the Bruins go to the power play for
Patra and Nyes over by the bench.
Well, officials racing over there to make sure nothing comes of that.
11 Toronto, 2 minutes roughly.
But the Bruins will have their 5th power play of the game when we come back. 5:39 to go in the second. They lead it 3-1 on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
With Cox Mobile, you're covered coast to coast, so you can call your friends anytime on that road trip from New York City to L.A., even in, Franklin, Illinois.
Huh, what if I call from Franklin, Georgia?
Yep, covered.
Ooh, Franklin, Texas?
Uh-huh.
Franklin, Kansas, Missouri, Virginia, Nebraska,
all covered. Cox Mobile runs on the network with more nationwide coverage than T-Mobile and has call quality you can rely on. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. Cox Internet required. Comparison based on percentage of area covered by T-Mobile as compared to Cox Mobile from FCC National Broadband Map of U.S. as of 12/31/23. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
At Enterprise, we know you're constantly on the move. Getting this.
Thanks, Mom.
Fixing that.
Bruins go back to the power play with 5:39 to go here in the second period, leading 3-1.
Controlled rage by the scary Craig Berube over on the bench. It's not much from Domi, and I get it why he's upset. they're both kind of holding each other, and then Domi just kind of pushes him down, and he's already in the box for one power play goal by the Bruins. Opportunity to score their 3 power play goals in a game for the first time this season.
It would be a first for the Leafs, giving up 3 power play goals as well. They've given up a pair now 7 times this year. As Lorei sets up for Pastrnak. Down low to Marchand. Out of the right corner. Gives over to that far circle for Pastrnak. He backhands it up to the top of the circle for Lindholm. Now into the corner again, Pastrnak. Center blue line, it comes to Lorei. Lorei misfired on a pass attempt. Lorentz has a breakaway and now has Camp coming with him. Lorentz right down the slot. Took the shot. Saved by Swayman. He'll cover the puck. Mark that one down with 5:14 to go here in the second.
Power play's been good. Lorei's been a good factor here. He had that great pass to Pastrnak. He's been involved in a good way offensively. He needs to just shake that off. Fans on a pass. He's got Geeky wide open in the left wing circle. He wants to go there with it. Off the heel of his stick. Maybe change his mind at the last second. And Lorentz has this chance coming in on Swayman. Swayman not only makes a save, keeps...
This is Pastrnak coming to the red line. Dumps it in. Stolarz went to stop it. Could not. Comes around the near side. Marchand tried to poke it back toward Lorei at the point. It's taken away. And Marner brings it up ice shorthanded. Down the right circle. Sends one in front off of Swayman.
He was looking for Matthews' back door.
Marchand headed the other way in a hurry. Geeky tried to get it back to Marchand. Knocked away from him by Timmins. Marchand's got it inside the zone, though. Gives over to Charlie Coyle at the right circle. Off the far wall to Marchand. He pivots away from Marner's pressure. Now Marner gets a piece of a pass and steals it, brings it out of the zone with 52 to go on the power play. Lost coming through the neutral ice, and now Timmins rocketed one. Marner ducking out of the way. That one coming head high at him. Bruins try to settle things down here with 38 to go in the man advantage. Second unit out there, chipped in deep here by Coyle. Zacha, Patra in the far corner. Coyle as well. Coyle blocked a clearing effort. Wrestling in there against Camp. Cave trying to dig it free. It'll come back to Wotherspoon at the right point. Wotherspoon deals back on that right side of Patra. Tried to shoot. Lorentz denied that. Coyle to Wallstrom. Can't find the handle. Kicks it onto his stick. Zacha got it back across. Here's Patra. Winding. Firing. Just wide. 7 to go on the power play. Wotherspoon now with the left point. Patra, top of the right circle. Another shot in and out of Stolar's glove. Lorentz rockets it off the far boards and all the way down as Domi comes out of the box. So the Bruins now 2 out of 5 in the man advantage. We got 3.5 to go in the second. And Boston up 3-1. Stolarz stops a dump in behind the net. Around the near side, it'll come to Nylander. Finds Riley stepping out of the Toronto zone. Brings it through neutral ice into the middle for Domi. Knocked away. Nylander off the near wall. Brings it around to the far side. Riley misplayed and forced out of the zone by Beecher, who bats it ahead, but back over to Riley inside Toronto territory. Nylander pivots back into his own zone. Picking up some speed as he comes to his own blue line, but bumped off the puck by Beecher. Now a dump in by Riley out of the near corner. And we get a whistle.
6 guys on the ice for Toronto.
Icing. It's a delayed. There was a. Wow. Swayman put his arm up to indicate an ice that he thought it was icing. And it was a very delayed call by the officials. But they're going to call it an icing and move the face-off into the Toronto end.
So, full marks. The Bruins have 2 power play goals here today, but just before their first power play goal in the first period. Just before their first power play goal in the first period, Matthews put one off the post.
Yes.
On a 2-on-1. And that last power play, they gave up a breakaway to Lorentz. And then the 2-on-1 with Marner and Matthews.
Dangerous game being played there. Face off. Geeky trying to get it onto his stick for a shot. Spun down instead. And that's going to be a penalty as the puck goes out of play off Nyes. And the Bruins are going to go right back to the power play with 2:38 to go in the period.
Before we get to that, Avidia is teaming up with Boston legend Patrice Bergeron again this season for Assist for Kids to donate $37,000 to help Metro West families pay for youth hockey. Get details now at avidiabank.com/Team Bergeron.
So So with 2:38 to go in the second, 3-1 lead and another power play chance. Their 6th of the game.
Now you get greedy, right? And but not silly. It would not giving up a 2-on-1 and a breakaway in the same power play sequence like they did on the last one. Get a little greedy to extend this lead here going into the third period.
Face off far circle to our left. Elias Lindholm against David Kampf. Kampf wins it, but Marchand gets in there and gets it back to Lohrei at the point. Takes a shot through traffic. Stolarz a save. Rebound came to the near side. Geeky to Lohrei. Top of the far circle to Pastrnak.
No stick for
Kampf. Top of the circle. Pastrnak. Pass across. Got deflected. Geeky able to keep it away from Lorentz, though.
He's had a couple of block passes intended for Geeky.
Lohrei out near the blue line. Gives to Geeky, left circle a drive, and the save by Stolarz. Geeky got it off the rebound, got it back to the point, but Lohrei couldn't hold it. Kampf racing to the bench to try to get his stick back and get replaced. Pastrnak brings it back in. Marchand out of the right corner. Back to Lohrei, center blue line to Geeky. Left circle a drive up off the glass.
You got all of it.
Pastrnak at the far point. Plays it down the wall. Marchand and McCabe in the far corner dealing with a broken stick. And it'll be Lorentz to clear one all the way down. 1:05 to go on the power play. 1:40 to go in the period. Parker Wotherspoon steps out from behind Jeremy Swayman. Passes right side for Pastrnak. Skates it to the red line and dumps it in. Pass Stolarz. It comes to the near side. Patra along the near wall against Matthews. Able to pull it off the boards. Got it in front. Looking for Coyle. It was blocked. Wotherspoon to Pastrnak. Quick pass along for Zacha. A shot. Stolarz sliding out to greet him and make sure that puck went wide.
Yeah, from the left wing circle, trying to go short side high.
32 to go on the power play. Bruins coming from their own zone again. Wotherspoon passed through neutral ice. Patra got it to Wahlstrom. Back for Patra on the right circle. Tipped out of the air by Kampf. Forced it in behind the Toronto net.
It's going to be a high stick coming up here. The Bruins.
With 18 seconds left on the power play and 56 to go in the period. It'll be a minor against Oliver Wahlstrom.
Boston, number 71, 2-minute minor, high sticking.
That kills off the remaining 18 seconds of the power play and will give Toronto a slightly abbreviated chance to close out the period.
Yeah, it's tough on Wahlstrom. He kind of gets his stick caught up with Coyle, who's on the forecheck, but it rides up and catches Kampf up high and behind the net. Has to be called. A couple opportunities for Geeky, who's feeling it. I'm going to see his shot attempts there. I could double check that while you're.
The face-off will be to the right of Jeremy Swayman here. 5 on goal, 4 more attempts, and 9 for the game so far. Zadorov will sweep it up the near wall. Marner plays it back into the corner. 4 on 4 here for another 6 seconds. Into the corner, Tavares. Carlo's got him held against the wall. Pushed by Lindholm. Riley's got the puck along the near circle. Gives to Tavares. Nyes comes out of the box and joins the power play unit now for Toronto. Final 30 seconds of the period. Marner, centering pass, blocked by Carlo as Nylander was waiting on the back door. Carlo sweeps one all the way down the ice here. 16 to go in the period. Marner redirects a long pass into the Boston zone. Carlo goes into the corner. Puck battered around behind the net. Came out in front. Tavares had it hit him in the skate. Now Marchand's off to the races, short-handed. 5 to go in the period. Marchand fanned on it, then hit the post. And that is the way the second period will end. Brad Marchand bidding for his first shorty of the year. Nearly had it on his second effort. Instead, the Bruins will be happy to take a 2-goal lead to the locker room, and they'll still have to kill off a minute 5 of power play time when the third period gets underway. We'll be back to recap the first 40 minutes with the Bruins on top of the Maple Leafs 3-1 here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
yes, cool,
or attending one live, You can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
At Enterprise, we know you're constantly on the move. Getting this?
Thanks, Mom.
Fixing that. You reach a destination, and then it's on to the next. And when life is moving at the speed of, well, life, Enterprise is right there with you, around the corner and around the globe. We'll keep you moving forward. Enterprise, for lives in drive.
Get this, adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/try-now. Greenlight.com/try-now.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
Yes, goal.
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
My brother-in-law died suddenly. Now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. After that, I told my wife we couldn't put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com.
The only place to hear the game, the Sports Hub.
Taken out and cleared ahead by Warriors. Pastrnak with the breakaway. He scores! Bruins counter punch right away and grab a 1-0 lead. Pastrnak just 29 seconds in. David Pasternak's first period goal, our amazing play presented by Timberline Construction, providing truly exceptional service in construction management, pre-construction, design, build, and due diligence support. Learn more at timberlineconstruction.com. Timberline Construction, exceptional, no exceptions. 2 periods complete here at TD Garden, and the Bruins have a 3-1 lead over the Toronto Maple Leafs. And boy, there have been some other chances on both ends of the ice here that this game could be a much higher scoring game, including Brad Marchand with a shorthanded break there at the end of that second period.
He actually fanned on the initial puck, kind of got away from him. He was kind of deciding what to do. And, you know, you have the puck, you've got to go with speed. You know somebody's chasing you, but you also know how much time's left on the clock. There's clocks everywhere, right? You can take a peek and know how much time's left on the clock. I'm wondering. But he ends up losing that puck, gets it back, corrals it, and tries to go short side high from the base of the left wing circle there, and Stolarz is sprawling to his right. Not sure if it caught post or Stolarz made the save. Looked like post. So, yes, could have been a lot different. Could have been a lot different before that. We mentioned the Bruins' power play, which has been the biggest difference in this game because they've got the 2 power play goals, the second and third goal. But they've also given up are giving up some really good opportunities. So first period, just before Marchand scores on his power play goal, Matthews hits the post on a 2-on-1 with Marner that the Bruins had given up. And in the second period, they end up getting power play after power play after power play, and it looked good early, and then it started, and they scored the goal, and then they end up giving up a breakaway to Lorenz, and then you give up another 2-on-1 with Marner carrying the puck, and he's looking for Matthews, holding on to it. The Bruins are hustling back, but it's a 2-on-1, and those are not the guys you want with the puck on their stick. So Swayman makes a save on Lorenz. He also makes the save as Marner was looking for Matthews' back door. He got the pad or the stick on it there before it got to Matthews' back door. So he's been excellent. The only goal that beats him went off the leg of his own defenseman. Geeky, pounding pucks. He's in that left wing circle on the power play. It's looked good most of the time here today. He's made good, smart plays over on that left side. They've tried to get him the puck. Toronto's tried to take it away. That seam pass from right circle over to left circle, but you still have Pastrnak as a threat in the right wing circle. But it all starts with Lindholm winning faceoffs. I mean, he's 11-2 in the faceoff circle right now. He's owned Austin Matthews today. And both power play goals that were scored started off of a faceoff win in puck possession. And he's won both of them. So he definitely won the second one. I believe he won the first one as well. But he's done a really good job in that area. He gets an assist on the Geeky goal because he was in the bumper. Nice passing play there where they could find him open and he get the quick shot away, and it creates the rebound because it's a bang play, and Stolarz is just doing everything he can to keep the puck out of the net. I think 5-on-5, the Bruins have been pretty good defensively today. Right? It's gotten into a special teams game, so you got to win in different ways. But 5-on-5, I think that they've been very good defensively. They've been stingy in that area. They haven't given up a ton of grade A looks. There's been a couple, but not a ton for a potent Toronto offense. But now the trick is, in the last couple of games where they've had a 1-goal lead going in the third period, not the Anaheim game, but the two prior to that, you weren't able to close the deal, and now you've got an opportunity to win a game, and you play well doing it. They've only given up 14 shots so far to this point,
right?
And I know that they've had a lot of power play, but you see a game like this, there's some emotion in it, there's some intensity in it, there's a little hatred in it. Both teams complaining about some calls. You have, especially Craig Berube, and you have. But the intensity level's up in this game compared to some of the ones that we've seen where you kind of shake your head a little bit. And they play a game like this, they still have to close it out. They play a 40 minutes like this, and you say, okay, where are they when throughout maybe not an 82-game schedule, but the majority of the time.
You need to see it more often than we have throughout the season.
I think so, especially when the stakes get raised a little bit like they are right now.
Well, and that's part of...
And it's been good today.
But it's part of Bruins Leafs, too. I mean, this is a rivalry game, and that's, you would expect that the emotions are going to be a little bit higher tonight. But sometimes you have to be able to create that on your own.
Absolutely.
If it's not there.
Absolutely. Couple of injuries. Frederick did not come back after he went down to the locker room. We have not gotten an update on that yet, but he never came back. And then the Leafs lose a big one in Tanev. He's their best defensive defenseman. He was lost early in the first period, and he kills penalties on that right side. He blocks all those shots from those left wing circles, but he leaves the game early and will not return with an upper body injury.
So it's the Bruins 3-1 leaders over Toronto after 2, and our music of the game is brought to you by Live Nation.
You got that power over me.
Dermot Kennedy presents Mishnach, a festival of Irish music and culture here at TD Garden March 19th. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Joe Murray's got your Sports Hub headlines next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home, yes, cool, or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went,
I'm so excited.
yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And Emily summed it up like so.
It is just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
My best friend died suddenly, and now his wife and kids have to move out of their house. I had no idea he didn't have life insurance. If I could go back, I'd tell him how easy and affordable protecting your family can be with SelectQuote. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent found me a $500,000 life insurance policy for only $18 a month. They compare many of the nation's most highly rated insurance carriers to find the right coverage and price for your needs. In the last 40 years, they've helped more than 2 million families secure over $700 billion in coverage. Even if you have a health concern, SelectQuote agents can find you the right policy at the lowest price. Don't wait until it's too late. Get peace of mind that your loved ones are protected with life insurance.
Go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Felger and Maz, afternoons 2 to 6 on the Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines.
All right, NHL scoreboard after 2 periods right now. Anaheim leads Buffalo 2-0. Montreal has a 3-0 lead over Carolina at the moment. It's the Flyers 5, Penguins 1, and the Flames, they're over the Capitals right now 2-0. Third period, Columbus is a 4-3 lead over Dallas. And midway through the second, Tampa Bay has a 3-1 lead over Edmonton, along with the Rangers, who have a 4-1 lead right now over the Islanders. St. Louis has a 2-0 lead over Seattle. That game entering the second period, along with the Panthers, of a 1-0 lead over Nashville. And Minnesota has a 2-0 lead over the Red Wings just at the end of the first period. And later on tonight, just about to puck will drop shortly. Chicago and Utah, while the Celtics have a 95-84 lead over Toronto. Headlines: Boston Bruins bringing you the best snow day ever. Tune in Tuesday, March 11th, as the Bruins and Panthers on ice action is transformed into animation using NHL Edge data. Watch the same action happening on the ice, but in a whole new way for a one-of-a-kind game day viewing experience. Learn more at bostonbruins.com/best snow day ever. I'm Joe Murray. The third period is coming up next here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
88 unread emails? Okay. New credit card? Delete. Congratulations, you've just won. Goodbye. COVID-19 news and delete. Wait, learn about treatment options for COVID-19. No and go. Okay, kind of catchy. Know that oral prescription treatment options are available for COVID-19 if you're at high risk. And go see your doctor if you experience symptoms or test positive. And forwarding that to mom.
Talk to your pharmacist or doctor if you or a loved one gets COVID-19. Know and go. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went,
I'm so excited.
yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And Emily summed it up like so.
It is just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
The home of the Bees, the Sports Hub.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification across the 98.5, the Sports Hub Bruins radio network.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. WBZFM at HD Boston, 98.5, the Sports Hub. Station. This is a black and gold flashback.
Goes to McKenzie. He has it in the corner. Holding. Across to Busick. He scores! Busick scores! They stop. Here's Green over the line now. Shifting, trying to cut in. Shoots. Wilson saves. Westfall scores! Face off now. Ted Green rushing. Down the right side. Green shoots. He scores! Green drills it by Wilson. And the Bruins have 3 in a row. If I read the clock correctly, this is in record time. Right off the face-off. A blistering shot by Ted Green to make it 5-2 as the fans go wild.
Tonight's black and gold flashback takes us back to this date in 1971. The Bruins set an NHL record, scoring 3 goals in 20 seconds in an 8-3 win over the Vancouver Canucks. Johnny Busick, Eddie Westfall, and Ted Green all scoring within 20-second stretch. In that game, Westfall and Fred Stanfield also hit the 20-goal mark for the season. That made Boston the first team in NHL history with 8 20-goal scorers in one season. About to get the third period underway here at TD Garden. Bruins have a 3-1 lead over the Toronto Maple Leafs. To start the period, Maple Leafs will have a minute 5 of power play time with Oliver Wahlstrom in the penalty box on a high sticking minor.
Yeah, it's been unfortunate for Wahlstrom this season. He's never gotten the traction. When he gets in the lineup, he unfortunately seems to take a penalty at the wrong time, right? And now the Bruins have to kill it. He's gotten some great chances. I think it could have gone the other way for him as well if he had scored some goals early and kind of gotten on a roll. But instead, now he's fighting for ice time, fighting for just to get in the lineup on a regular basis. And the Bruins penalty kill has been good so far. It's been solid so far. Now they have to do some more work here to start this third.
Yeah, for Wahlstrom, this is just his 4th game dressed in the last 10 for the Bruins. 16th game overall since he was picked up on waivers from the Islanders. As the Leafs win the opening face-off, they're moving from right to left here in the third period. Tavares gets it into the Boston zone. Matthews trying to get it to Riley. It's picked off by Zacha. Zacha dragging it through neutral ice with Matthews hooking him from behind. Played it into the Toronto zone. Little giveaway here, and Lindholm shoots one over Stolars, who was scrambling to get back between the pipes after he had come out to play the puck. 35 to go on the Leafs power play. Tavares to Matthews. Coming out into the neutral zone. Gives to Nylander. Deflected pass. Finds Tavares along the near boards. Centering pass picked off by Coyle, and all the way down it goes. Stolars forced to play it in the crease. Steered it away from a forechecking Marchand. Now Riley will cut it back toward the Boston line. Tavares. Pass. Disrupted by Marchand. Came to Marner. Left circle. Shoots and scores. That one just inside the post on the glove side of Swayman. And the power play goal gets the Leafs within 59 seconds into the third.
Only 6 seconds remaining on the penalty as well. And Marchand had that snuffed out. He had that played perfectly. He came right across. He was about to pick that puck off. And it ends up coming. He gets mixed up with Matthews. Matthews does a nice job of kind of screening him off just enough. And he had that. Marchand did. He had it read perfectly. And then Marner picks it up. kind of weaves his way into that left wing circle, and he rips this shot past Peak and up over top of the glove hand side, just under the bar and inside the post on Swayman. But that's a little bit of an unlucky break because Marchand had that read perfectly.
Now 17 goals, 72 points on the year for Mitch Marner, 11 points against the Bruins in the 4 meetings this year. Puck around the far boards of the Bruins zone. Geeky couldn't get it out. Domi, centering pass, broken up. Patra steers it on to Geeky, coming out across his own blue line, and it ends up coming back in the zone offside here against Toronto with a minute 20 gone in the period.
Get yourself organized again, right? And if you're the Bruins, it's a little bit of a different game. That's what we talked about in the second period when you had opportunities, 3 power plays to try to get something going and extend the lead to 3 goals. Instead, you know, you give up a breakaway, you give up a 2-on-1, you're unable to extend the lead. You're not going to score on every power play, but got just a little sloppy there. And now Toronto gets one of their own.
A 1-goal game here and almost a full period of play. Marchand along the far boards against Ekman Larson inside the Toronto zone. Puck pushed out of the zone and settled in the neutral ice. Carlo.
So, you know, these are the areas, right, when the Bruins talked about they give up goals in kind of bunches, right? You give up one, and then you feel the bench that deflates. And how do you react after the goal is scored? You still have a lead in the third period. You know, so, and he played a good game. Now you got to figure it out again.
Will come deep behind Stolars. He comes out of the net to play it. Both teams getting some changes done up ice. McCabe will start it from the near circle to Tavares in the neutral zone. Pulled back away from Geeky. Bouncing puck, Timmins in front of the Toronto bench. Sends it rink wide to McCabe. Skates in across the Boston line. Drops it off for Holmberg along the near side board. Geeky reaching out to try to knock the puck away. Nylander's got it now in the left wing corner. Throws one toward the slot. Ricocheted into the air. Benoit going to steer it back in behind the net out in front. Tavares had a chance, but that one goes up and over the crossbar. On the near side circle, Holmberg has a shot blocked by Callahan. At the blue line, it's kept in by McCabe. Batted back toward the corner. Callahan tried to bring it back toward the near side. Got knocked down. Tavares has the puck. Holmberg picking up his stick in the slot. Puck came across, and Ekman Larson was coming in from the right point through that circle. But it was redirected away from him. Now Tavares behind the net. Centering pass. Holmberg kicking one onto his stick. And it's pushed out toward the blue line and out of the zone here by Zacha. It's it deep into Toronto territory. Both teams changed. 3:10 gone here in the third period. Riley sends it up the right side. Robertson in across the Boston line. In the back of the net. Andrew Peak first to it. Sends it around the near side. Bad hop. Here's Robertson left circle. Fan on a shot. Gets it back. Gets it back to Riley. Over to the far side. McCabe misfires a one-timer. Domi in the far corner challenged by Lohrei. Sends one back off to McCabe. Pass across the ice. Riley has to pick it up off the carom, but pressured by Koepke, forced to turn over. Castlewick gets it out. In the neutral zone, Riley's pass hit an unsuspecting Domi. Leafs will settle things down at their own blue line here with McCabe. And both teams changing. McCabe passes up the right side. Here's McMahon. Shouldered by Zadorov as they go toward the far corner. Matthews wraps it up the far boards to Benoit at the right point. Shoots it across ice into the near corner. First stick on it is Carlos. McMahon near the top of the faceoff circle has it. Back to Benoit at the right point. The one-timer is scooped up by Swayman. Hangs on for the whistle.
Yeah, it's hockey season. It's the perfect time to replace your old boiler with a new Peerless boiler. Don't wait until you have no heat. Go to peerlessboilers.com for a dealer near you. And remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers.
Face-off coming in the Bruins zone. Marner's 17th of the year from Tavares and Morgan Riley. That power play goal at 59 seconds. For Riley, that's his second point of the game. He scored Toronto's first goal in the second period. Off the draw, here's Marner with a chance down the middle to Carlo Donato.
Well, you know, I mean, Lindholm's had his number today in the face-off circle. Matthews went forward on that draw and then got the puck to Marner.
Matthews from his own zone now. Gets it across to Marner up the right wing side. On the far circle, he floats one toward the net. Save made, and the rebound. Matthews coming down the middle. I think it was Wotherspoon got a piece of it. Matthews deals it back off the far boards. They get it to Marner, center of the blue line. To Matthews, right circle. Challenged by Lindholm, who gets a stick on that puck. Gets body position, wins the battle, and Coyle gets the puck cleared. Timmins will skate back into the Toronto zone to retrieve. 5 minutes gone here in the third period of what is now is a 3-2 Bruins lead. Up the left side comes Holmberg. Around behind the net. He puts a body on it. In the far corner, Nylander. To McCabe at the right point. Gives back to Nylander. From the dot. Shot. Ricochets up and out of play over the glass in the near corner.
Toronto's got their push. Some momentum off the goal on the power play. Minute into the period. Now all of a sudden it's a different game. It's Toronto putting that pressure on the Bruins. They've had a couple looks, right? And Swayman made a couple good saves. It was either Marchand or Wotherspoon that got a piece of that Matthews chance backdoor off the rebound.
Face off to the left of Swayman. Tavares wins it.
Turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
Gain Super Flings are here to take your laundry to the next level.
Talking about Gain Super Flings. Super-sized laundry packs. These things are huge. Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings laundry packs have 4 times the Oxy cleaning power and 3 times the Febreze freshness versus Gain Original Liquid.
Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings for next level laundry.
Connect with Boston's Home for Sports online. 98.5 thesportshub.com.
13:35 left here in the third. Bruins have a 3-2 lead. They have 6 assists on the night with those feeds. The Shaws and Star Market Foundation has donated another $600 to the Greater Boston Food Bank to help fight food insecurity. Learn more about our Feeding the Puck for Families program at 98.5thesportshub.com/feedthepuck. Jeremy Swayman, a little worse for wear after that last shot before the break. It was a little slow in getting up, but ready to go here as they drop the puck to his left. The Beecher against Robertson on this draw. After Domi got asked to leave the circle. Beecher wins it. Lohrei lifts it up the far side. Kastelik in the neutral ice. Sweeps it around Ekman Larsson and around behind Stolars, who comes out of the net to play it. Riley from the near circle with a long pass ahead. Here's Robertson in across the line. Shoots and scores! And just like that, the Maple Leafs have tied it at 3 here in the third.
Robertson with the hot hand. He can shoot it, but he gets a little open ice here. That's all he needs coming down the left wing side. And it's a bomb to the under the glove. So that the pass comes from deep inside Toronto's zone, or just inside the blue line of Toronto's zone. It gets through the legs of Peak, and then Lohrai's coming across. But Robertson gets himself in a good shooting position coming down the left wing side. He's inside the dot as a left-hand shot, and he rips this puck.
Robertson had 2 goals on Sunday in their win over Chicago. Gets another one here tonight, his 11th of the season. And we're knotted up at 3. 13-12 to go here in the third period. Marchand plays the puck in Coyle's direction. He'll send it around behind Stolar.
I mean, a few shifts after Toronto scored to make it 3-2.
There's Marchand in front for Lindholm, banging away at it. Stolar's looking to cover and does.
First chance for the Bruins. I mean, we're just under the 13-minute mark, and it's really the first chance that the Bruins have had, because it's been all Toronto here to start this third period. Marchand down low, and then he's going to get this puck to Lindholm in front. Stolar's active, gets the ball, blocker on it, the paddle down. Coyle's looking for a rebound.
Toronto started the period on the power play, scored with seconds to go on it. And now the even strength goal by Robertson from Riley, and Stolar is going to get an assist on that as well. Pastrnak sends one toward the slot here, picked off. Cleared for Nylander up the right side. He overshot Tavares with a pass near the Boston line. Pastrnak gets it to Geeky. From the red line, he dumps it in. Around the boards it goes to the far side. Nylander drops it back for Ekman-Larsson. Timmins off the near side wall into the neutral ice. Tavares from the red line to the blue for Holmberg. Softly into the corner. Peak will move it toward Lohrei out of the far corner, and a long pass up the far side finds Geeky. Geeky steps in across the line. Hands to Pastrnak. Left circle shot blocked by McCabe. And McCabe sweeps the puck across the ice, but taken by Wotherspoon, threw it to the net. Geeky a chance in front, kicking around in front of Stolarz, and he'll get it covered.
Geeky tried to find Patra. So now all of a sudden, it's amazing how things change, right? Toronto makes it 3-2. They didn't have a ton going. All of a sudden, they make it 3-2, and then it's all Toronto, and then it goes 3-3, and then over the last couple shifts, at least things have settled down, and the Bruins have started to play again. They got back on their heels. Toronto sensed it.
Face off. Controlled here by Toronto. Robertson will bring it through the neutral ice and lift one in towards Swayman. A bouncing puck, and he's going to force him to cover it. And then took a poke in Swayman's direction, and that draws the attention of a lot of Bruins. And everyone starts to pair off here. We got a wrestling match with Callahan in the circle. We got one out in the neutral ice here as Koepke was after Robertson.
It started Robertson, though. He takes that. You know that Swayman's going to cover the puck. He's not going to play it with you bearing down on him. He sticks his stick in there, so. But, not a penalty, just saying that's what's going to draw the crowd.
Right. In the meantime, as we talked about, you mentioned it, and we were talking between periods. The Bruins, the last two times they had leads going into the third period, 1-goal leads each. They ended up losing both of those games in regulation. They now have a 2-goal lead that's evaporated here in this third period. 11:58 left to try to rectify that. Face-off will be to the left of Swayman. Toronto's got 7 shots in the first 8 minutes of this period after putting up 14 for the first 2 periods combined. Face off, far circle, won by Beecher. Out of the corner, Wotherspoon. Robertson kicked it off the wall. Koepke swung it into the middle for Patra. He played it off the far boards, went and got it himself, and now to Beecher. Stuck in front of the Bruins bench. Robertson able to get it back into the Boston zone. He gets ridden to the boards by Patra. Callahan volleys one through neutral ice. Koepke able to glove it down and stumbled coming across the Toronto blue line as he tried to hurry that puck in. Ekman-Larsson finds Riley coming back the other way, and he'll dump in from just inside the red line. Zadorov reverses it for Carlo. Try to get it back to Zadorov, and Marner cut in front of that, but his pass out through the middle, picked off, and Marchand heads the other direction. Marchand along the near circle to Lindholm. Fakes the shot, goes down toward the goal line, sends it in front as Zadorov was crashing in there. His shot attempt got blocked, and Stolarz covers it.
Yeah, I think the initial pass was intended for Coyle, but never got through. There was a couple Leafs in the way. So there's life, and Marchand's bringing it through the neutral zone. Run a little interference there. And then Zadorov jumping in. Didn't get a great chance on it, but that puck bouncing around. Stolarz has had to track a couple here over the last few minutes that are down around his pads and bouncing around on him. Lindholm's had a good game here today. He's done a lot of good things. I know that he's taken some criticism, some heat. I get it, and I realize why, but he's played a good game here today. He's had some good games where he doesn't show up on the score sheet. I know he'd love to show up a little bit more, and if you're going to make that money, you need to.
Sure. With an assist earlier tonight, he's got 7 points in his last 8 games. That will be brought behind the net here by McMahon. Lobbed into neutral ice. Knocked down there with a high stick by Marchand. That'll draw a whistle.
Fans, Bruins Hockey is brought to you by Timberline Construction, providing truly exceptional service in construction management, pre-construction, design, build, and due diligence support. Learn more at timberlineconstruction.com. Timberline Construction, exceptional, no exceptions.
Face-off just outside the Boston line, and it will be Lindholm against Matthews. This matchup once again. Matthews wins this one. Benoit over to McCabe and back toward him near side. McMahon had it batted away by Coyle. Benoit back inside the Toronto zone. Chased back deeper by Coyle. Pass up the left side. Matthews will skate it to the Boston line. Carries in across. Lindholm right in his face. Puck into the corner. McMahon will move it around the far side. Ekman-Larsson to it at the point. Shoots it back in deep. Riley in the near corner. Up toward Marner. He and Coyle collide. Both guys go down. Behind the net, Zadorov. Around the far boards. Marchand kicks it off the wall. Has it and carries it to the red line. Lifts it into the Toronto zone. Stolars will tee it up at the side of the net. Bruins changing here as Ekman-Larsson finds Nylander coming through neutral ice. Around Geeky. Down the right wing side against Zacha. Nylander centering pass. Denied by Laura. In the near corner. Pete puts a body on Nylander. Past the midway point of the third period. It's a tie game. Lori up the middle for Pastrnak. Couldn't handle the pass. Tavares swings it across ice. Just missed Holmberg. He gets it off to Karam and shoots one wide to the short side. Nylander was right along that near post as well. Gabe cuts off a rush back in the Toronto zone. Then gives it away. Here's Pastrnak. Left circle, moves in. Score! David Pastrnak rings it off the pipe and in, and it's a 4-3 Bruins lead.
Well, you talk about a goal scorer's goal. It's a turnover by Toronto, and it's a quick 2-on-1 that forms with Pastrnak in the left wing circle. He's got a body going to the front of the net. He's going to freeze the defenseman. So it's McCabe who tries to go up the boards. He's going to turn it over, trying to reverse it. Timmins is the defenseman in front. Pasternak's going to bring the puck strong to the net from the left wing side. Timmins probably could have gone at him. He might have had help on the backside. It was Poitras on the backside as the Bruins have changed all their lines here. And Pastrnak short side high off the bar and in.
Second of the game for Pastrnak. His third point gives him 72 points on the year. It's his 30th goal of the season. As the puck comes into the air out into the neutral ice from the Boston end. Leafs will have it with Nyes at the red line. Skates in across the Boston line. Try to drop it for Robertson. Missed. And Poitras near side. Ooh, he got crunched by Ekman-Larsson.
What do the Bruins have now the next few shifts, right?
Domi into the Boston zone, looking for help. Deals it back toward the blue line. Benoit's offside. As the puck came back out and into the zone, and they're going to send that face-off all the way back to the Toronto end here. 8:51 to go in the third. Bruins are back in front. It's 4-3 here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
The Celtics play here at the Sports Hub.
David Pasternak's second goal of the game, 30th of the season, has given the Bruins a 4-3 lead with 8:51 to go. This is Pasternak's now 8th three-point game of the year. That includes 2 in which he had 4 points. It's his 5th multi-goal game of the season. And this is now his 8th 30-goal season in the National Hockey League, including 4 in a row. The face-off in the offensive zone here for Morgan Geeky. Bruins led 3-1 coming into the third. Leafs battled back to tie it, but now the Bruins ahead with under 9 minutes to play. Puck comes back into the Boston zone. Lorei will steer it up off the glass and out. Riley trying to pass ahead for Kampf. Missed him. Zacha played it back toward the Toronto line. Batted down by Ekman-Larsson. Peak sends it toward Geeky near side, and he'll sweep it around behind Stolar. Pastrnak in the far left wing corner against Ekman-Larsson. Puck came free to Kampf. Geeky pressures him on the forecheck. Pastrnak able to knock Ekman-Larsson off of it. Centering pass looking for Geeky redirected. Geeky got it back to Lorei at the point. Shot! Whistled through traffic and tipped on goal, and Stolar's made the save. Pastrnak now on the near side boards. Kampf the takeaway. Will carry out to his own blue line. Now drop it back and head for the bench and a change. Bruins changing as well. Morgan Riley has a goal and an assist. Puck on his stick, gave to Marner. Back to Riley. And a long pass up the left side. Here's Marner inside the Boston zone. Centering for Matthews, broken up. McMahon trying to find it, overskated. Carlo will play it for Marchand out of the zone. Coyle from the red line, dumps it into the far corner. Lindholm goes in there against Timmins. Marner tried to tap it to Benoit. Here we gave it away in front of the net. Timmins instead goes back toward the corner. Marner couldn't catch up with it. Marchand got it toward the slot. Turnaround shot by Lindholm. And Stolar's made the save. The puck gets cleared and out of play. It was deflected.
Got 6 shots on goal for Lindholm here in this game. That was a tricky one. That turnaround high slot. Right pad save made by Stolarz. Some funny scores around the league today. 4-0 Montreal leading the Hurricanes. Philadelphia up 6-1 right now on Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh's about cashed in their chips for the year.
Columbus battling for a playoff spot, up 5-3 on Dallas. This game's all in the third period. Buffalo up 3-2 on Anaheim in the third. Calgary with a 2-1 lead over Washington. Washington, they could coast in if they wanted to, but they won't, I'm sure. Tampa looking to make it, 6 in a row? They're up 3-1 on Edmonton. Edmonton's lost 3 in a row coming into tonight. Rangers up 5-1 on the Islanders.
Islanders will be here on Thursday night. Puck comes around the near boards inside the Toronto zone, and Holmberg will back it up. Riley will skate it out. Comes to the red line, has his pocket picked by Pastrnak. He's got Zacha coming down the middle. Pastrnak drags it toward the slot. Tried to get it over to Geeky, and that was blocked. Still loose in front. Geeky, a backhander. Knocked down and peek at the blue line to keep a puck alive. Second effort, and the Leafs get it cleared. Nylander ahead. Nylander to Tavares left. Circle shot. Swayman the save. No rebound.
A little scrambly there, right?
Enough true crime to know that murdering them isn't a real option. With the Hotels.com app, invite all your friends to collaborate and find the perfect hotel together. Share properties, vote on your favorites, and book all in one place. Find your perfect somewhere with Hotels.com.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club. Politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
Listen live. Check out our podcast with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
Fans, the Bruins are bringing you the best snow day ever. Tune in Tuesday, March 11th as the Bruins and Panthers on-ice action is transformed into animation using NHL Edge data. Watch the same action happening on the ice, but in a whole new way for a one-of-a-kind game day viewing experience. Learn more at bostonbruins.com/best snow day ever. 5:09 to go in the third. Bruins have a 4-3 lead. David Pastrnak was not going to let that stick get away from him that went into the crowd. He has replaced it with one of his other sticks. But he wants the one with 2 goals on it.
Pretty funny sequence there. Pastrnak called the referee over. He gave him a stick, one of his own sticks. And the referee took it over to where his stick had gone into the crowd. And there's a kid in the front row that's getting all kinds of phone calls and texts right now because he's excited. And they exchange sticks. He wanted the one he's got 2 on right now. Kid's still excited. He's got a Pastrnak stick.
Whether it's the one that did, who knows? Maybe if he scores a hat trick, he'll toss the kid the other one. On the near side boards, here's Geeky, a takeaway from Nylander. Got it to the blue line, but not out as Nylander recovered. But now Lohrei will push it out to the red line. Under 5 minutes to play. Peak had it taken by Tavares in front of the Boston bench. Holmberg deep in the Boston zone. Gets knocked down by Peak. Lohrei lifts one over Riley's head, and the bouncer comes back into Toronto territory. Riley settles in behind his net. So we hit 4.5 minutes to go. Long dump into the Boston zone. It's going to be an icing.
That's close, but that looked familiar, didn't it?
Looked like the Pastrnak
yeah, they tried it
in the playoffs.
Tried it.
Didn't quite have the angle right.
He didn't. They didn't, but Bruins also got back. Zadorov read that and was able to get back at the same time, and they'll call the icing.
Face off in the offensive zone now for Elias Lindholm. Up there with Marchand and Coyle, Zadorov and Carlo. Face off win by Lindholm. Marchand takes the puck. Wheels it toward his backhand. Tried to get it in front. Blocked by Riley, who volleys it out. That one's going to go, well, not going to make it for icing. A little backspin on it.
No.
Zadorov reversed it toward the far corner. Nobody there. Matthews sent one toward the slot out of Marner's reach. McCabe left circle. Pass for Matthews, and that gets redirected out of the zone. 4 minutes left. Matthews back across the line. Zadorov chases him to the far circle. Matthews' shot is grabbed by Swayman. No rebound.
Yeah, a rough shift right there for the Bruins, right? You get away with the kind of the turnover on the reverse that's not there, and then Matthews so good. He's coming down the right, kind of shading the right side. And as Zadorov reaches to try to poke the puck away, he's going to just pull it back just a hair and then go right in between the outstretched stick of Zadorov and the skate, the triangle, and get a really good chance away. He's had some good looks today that Swayman's made some saves on, and he hit a post in the first period. Talking about Matthews.
Austin Matthews with multiple points in each game between these two teams that he's played in. Remember, he missed that one game when we were up in Toronto back in November. As an outlet pass comes here to
a lot of people in
in
Toronto feel he's just been battling something all year. I mean, he was good in the Four Nations Cup, but you feel that he's just been off in a couple different areas. Tough to score 70 every year, isn't it?
Right. I mean,
but when you score it once,
47 points in 42 games is off for a guy like that.
It is.
Yep. We got 3:17 to go here. Bruins get the puck deep. Stolarz at the back of the net. Around the far side for McMahon. McMahon lifts it through the neutral ice. Knocked out of the air with a high stick by Carlo. Pastrnak won't play it. Camp does, and wheels it up the left side for Lorentz. Lit up by Carlo in the near corner. Puck will come back toward Carlo. In the near circle. Puck came free. Matthews nearly had a lane to the net. Ekman Larson jousting with Pastrnak. Lorentz over to McCabe, and his shot.
Looking for the tip by Matthews in front.
Carlo reversed it around to the far side. We got 2:38 to play. Geeky played it up the wall, but not out. Lorentz gave it away. Geeky lobs it back into neutral ice.
Yeah, Stolarz still in the net.
Here's Matthews getting the pass across the Boston line. Matthews from a knee tried to play it toward the slot, taken away by Geeky and clear.
You could see Berube pointing, saying, wait, he wanted to see possession after the line change by the Leafs, and they didn't get it in the offensive zone.
2:14 to go.
You're not going to pull him now.
Nylander didn't get it cleanly in across. Peak will send it back out. Off of Coyle, it came to Tavares. Peak bats it away from the Boston line. And we hit 2 minutes to go. Matthews from his own blue line. He and Tavares trade it. Now Marner, pressured by Lindholm. Puck comes ahead to Riley.
There he comes.
Riley, left side for Tavares. Down the left circle, a shot saved by Swayman. Rebound into the corner. Puck jumps into the air, stays in play. Extra attacker on in the form of Matthew Nyes. Along the near side with 1:38 to go. Puck comes into the corner. Peak able to get it behind the net. Parker Wotherspoon played it to the blue line, but not out. Tavares looking for Matthews, and Peak got a stick on that.
It's the right play. Missed Lindholm on a pass.
Nice to the near circle. Matthews had a chance at it and blocked by Marchand. He'll backhand it up the near boards and out. No, will not make it for icing. Marner goes back arguing as he picks up the puck. Sends a pass ahead to Riley. That looked to be offside perhaps. Matthews at the blue line keeps in. Moving in left circle, hit the post.
Second post for Matthews today.
Geeky got it off the far boards. Domi has no stick, trying to kick the puck to keep it in. He could not. We have a minute to go in regulation, and the Bruins up 4-3.
Zacha's usually short-handed. He had time there, and he tried to go up the middle. That puck got knocked down easily.
Ekman-Larsson wheels it around the Bruins zone, taken off the far wall. A centering pass. Holmberg scores! Pontus Holmberg ties it at 4 with 46 seconds to go.
Going to go upstairs from in tight. The Bruins have an opportunity here in the corner to win a battle and get this puck out of the zone. They can't do it. And that was Robertson who pulled it off the wall to beat Zadorov out of the corner. And he's going to make this pass in front. In tight. 5 Bruins jerseys around, but Holmberg gets this puck, and he's going to go upstairs quickly.
6th of the season for Pontus Holmberg, and we're even with 46 seconds left. Bruins had a 3-1 lead coming into the third. Leafs tied it at 3. Bruins got a 4-3 lead, and now that is gone. As a face-off at center ice, won by Tavares. Dumped in by McMahon. At the back of the Bruins net, Swayman sent it toward the near corner. Peak pressured by McMahon. Lindholm tries to seal him off behind the net. Wotherspoon sent it around the far wall. Ekman-Larsson gave it to McMahon. His shot blocked by Wotherspoon. He and Tavares go into the far corner. 25 to go in the third period. Peak trying to push it up the boards. It came free toward the top of the face-off circle. Race for it toward the far side circle. Ekman-Larsson brings it back along the blue line. Throws one wide of the net. Right to Marner. 12 to go in the regulation. Marner from the left circle, a shot. And the save by Swayman covers it up with 9 seconds even left.
I mean, you got the goal that was scored. Matthews had an opportunity right before that where he went off the post for the second time tonight. Just that pressure has just been a little overwhelming when Toronto's turned it up against the Bruins in a couple of areas. You know, Bruins had played a pretty solid game through a couple periods, and then Toronto's turned it up here in the third.
Face off in the defensive zone here with 9 seconds left. It'll be Lindholm and Matthews again. Matthews wins this one. Domi from the top of the face-off circle. Back to Ekman-Larsson. Shot, tried to throw it to the net. Blocked by Marchand. Sent back in on a delayed offside. Bruins will eat it and get this one to overtime. So a 2-goal lead and a 1-goal lead both evaporate for the Bruins, and they'll play 3-on-3 against the Leafs when we return here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Being a human is hard, especially if you're a woman who's having trouble doing that totally normal thing all humans do but not all of us like to talk about. You know, pooping. Thankfully, Garden of Life's doctor-formulated women's probiotics contain 50 billion probiotics to help you be a more regular human. Garden of Life, available now on Amazon. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club. Politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
The home of the Revs, the Sports Hub.
We're headed to overtime here at TD Garden. Out of the 4 meetings this year, 2 of them have gone to overtime. The Bruins with a victory here on home ice over the Leafs in the extra session back in October. For Boston, this will be their 15th overtime game this season. They have won 7. They have lost 7. One of those in a shootout. The Toronto Maple Leafs going to overtime for the 8th time this year. They are the only team in the league that has not been to the shootout this season. They have a 5-2 overtime record. As I mentioned, one of those losses coming here at TD Garden. So 5 minutes on the clock, 4-4 the score. Bruins will go from right to left here in the overtime session. And they'll start with Coyle, Pastrnak, and Lohrei. Coyle will be out there to take the face-off against John Tavares, who's out there with Marner and Riley for Toronto. Ready to go. Long wait for the drop. And off the face-off, Bruins have possession. Coyle goes right to the bench. Lohrei with the puck. Zacha joins the play and gets the puck from Pastrnak. Coming through the neutral ice. Carries it on the right wing side. Gives to Pastrnak in the middle out near the blue line. Fumbled it. Now it comes to Zacha from Lohrei. He'll give it back to Lohrei. Working his way toward the high slot. Zacha cutting toward the front of the net. Riley took the puck away. On the far boards, Lohrei trying to get it back. Zacha got a stick on it, but it comes toward Stolarz, and he'll hand it at the side of the net to Marner. And now the Leafs with their first possession. Marner will carry it through the neutral zone. Goes right down the middle. Pass off to the left side. Too far for Ekman-Larsson. Marner going to sweep it all the way back down toward his own goaltender. Stolarz handles it, holds it, and gives it now to Austin Matthews. Matthews cutting toward the right side. Now back through the middle of the neutral zone. Hands off to Nyes. Right in front for Matthews. Couldn't handle it. Matthews along the near boards against Marchand. Marchand able to get position on him. In the corner they joust, and now Zadorov gets involved. Puck comes behind the net. Matthews will get to it first. Back to McCabe along the blue line. To Matthews, moving through the high slot to the right circle. Matthews goes to the back of the net. Try to get it to McCabe. Tipped out of the air by Marchand. Kept alive, though. Here's Nyes, right circle. Shot, save made, Swayman. And the whistle comes.
Yeah, it's Matthews there with the puck. Him and Nyes bodies right in that zone, winning a couple of battles down low. It looked like Marchand maybe was going to get to the puck after knocking it away, and then McCabe picks it out of the air as well. See what the Bruins come back with now. It's going to be Lohrei in the back end, come back with Zacha and Coyle to try to win this faceoff.
Suarez, Marner, and Riley back out there for the Leafs. Minute 29 gone in the overtime. Zacha wins the face-off. Lohrei goes behind the net. Tavares chasing as Lohrei carries it through neutral ice.
Speed.
Pastrnak joins the play as Lohrei shot blocked into the near corner. Tavares will get it. Sends it behind the net. Marner with a long pass across the ice. Tavares 2-on-1 with Riley. Tavares down the right circle. Backhander goes up and over the net.
All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went...
I'm so excited.
Yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and Emily summed it up like so.
It is just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
My brother-in-law died suddenly. Now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. After that, I told my wife we couldn't put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month. A savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com.
At Enterprise, we know you're constantly on the move. Getting this.
Thanks, Mom.
Fixing that. You reach a destination, and then it's on to the next. And when life is moving at the speed of, well, life, Enterprise is right there with you, around the corner and around the globe. We'll keep you moving forward. Enterprise, for lives in drive.
With the American Express Platinum Card, you can unlock over $1,500 in value annually with statement credits on select purchases and other benefits. That means getting access to even more of your favorite things. More jet setting, more trend setting, and more resetting.
And downward dog.
The stage is set for you to do even more with the American Express Platinum Card. Learn more at americanexpress.com/us/explore-platinum. Terms apply.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went,
I'm so excited.
yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and Emily summed it up like so.
It is just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
The only place to hear the game, the Sports Hub.
Lorai, top of the right circle. Toe drags around Matthews, goes right in front. Stolarz made the save. Lorai went crashing into him. Stolarz a bit slow in getting up, has no stick. Scramble for possession here out of the blue line. Lorai can't keep it in. It's a breakaway for Marner. Marner skating in slowly, goes to the forehand and scores. And the Toronto Maple Leafs win it in overtime, coming from 2 goals down in the third period, then coming from a goal down, and they win it 5-4. And that goal coming with 51.3 seconds left on the clock in overtime. Toronto gets the 2 points tonight. Bruins will settle for a loser point as they fall 5-4 here at home after leading by 2 through 2 periods of play, and third straight time that they've gone to the third period with a lead and come out with less than 2 points.
Well, it started right. You got to kill a penalty early in the third period. You still had a minute, whatever it was on the clock there on Wallstrom's penalty, and you get the goal by Marner, and it was actually pretty well defended. Marchand had it. Unfortunate kind of break for him. Can't quite get it, and puck ends up on Marner's stick, and it's in the back of the net. It's 3-2. You're still in control. You're still there. You get that third goal by Robertson. That's a tough one. He gets behind the D, the pass from Riley all the way up the ice to Robertson, and he's able to beat Swayman under the glove. Swayman made a couple good saves. And then the Bruins get the lead with a great individual effort by Pastrnak, 4-3, but they give up the late one, and there was a post by Matthews. And then the goal that scored to tie it. Overtime, you got possession of the offensive